Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Trey Ferg, aka Coach Ferg. Just want to thank everybody for joining me today. I want to give a shout out to all my veterans around the world. Salute to you all. Salute to your families. Thank you for keeping us safe and protected. Hope that you can make it home to your family safe. I also pray that you are having a great day out there today, ladies and gentlemen. The weather's bad where I'm at, so please be careful. There's a lot of flooding around the country, so drive carefully. Take all precautions. Do not try to drive through water, whether you can see the ground or not. It's very dangerous, so be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I just want to appreciate everybody who joined me. Salute to Hassan and anybody that joined in the chat. Please feel free to leave a comment, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you for joining me. I am Coach Ferg. Just want to appreciate everybody. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody for joining me today. Just got to go over a few things. Yeah, it's been a while since I been alive. You know, I just been on other channels, just listening to a lot of the same conversations that travel through the YouTube streets on a daily basis. It's always, if one topic hits one live, it's going to hit maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 5 lives within that same day, or at least within the week. Yeah, it's been a lot going on. Like I said, the weather's been bad here in the central part of America, a lot of flooding. I went to base a few days ago and it was flooded. A lot of the homes, I only saw roofs of the homes, and you know, a lot of places were sort of blocked off by local authorities, and I saw people actually getting rescued. So it was interesting. The Ohio River, it's high. Numbers that I've never seen. It's high. I think they showed today on the news like 64 feet above level, so that's very dangerous for anyone to be trying to navigate those waters. The waters are definitely very murky. You can't see through them, so just be careful when you're out and about and trying to, just move around your city or local area. So yes, just be very careful. Again, as y'all come in, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Anybody that stop by, again, I said, if you stop by, just leave a comment. I just got a few things I want to share, some very good information I don't think too many people are privy to. But if you're interested, definitely in becoming your own boss, creating a future for yourself and your family, there are some things coming down the pipeline, per se, from the government to give people of color, African Americans specifically, opportunities to make those dreams come true. So I'm just going to go down those list of possible maybe opportunities, and you can find out in your local area how you can actually obtain access to those funds and those benefits. So again, appreciate everybody joining. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, just hit the like, share, subscribe button. Trey Ferg, the Player Coach. Hit the like, share, subscribe button to Trey Ferg, the Player Coach, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into it. So I appreciate everybody joining. Just like the title says, the business of America. Also, I'm new to this, so I created a Cash App just to see how it go. But again, you see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen, $ Coach Ferg 03. And the 3 is significant because I am the third of who I am. My grandfather, my father, and me. So I just thought I'd use that number, throw it in there, thought it was unique. Yeah, so as you can see in the title, the business of America. Will you gain access or will you be denied access? That is totally up to you. Like I said, there's a lot going on in the country. A lot of people are sort of skeptical about what happens to us specifically as African Americans. The laws are beneficial to us, and we know in some cases, maybe more often than none, that the laws are very biased towards people of color. However, I would say over the last 30 years, we've seen quite a bit of, I would say, civil unrest with people of color and minorities in America to just try to gain some access to the opportunities within America. So it's a very unique, complicated place. You know, I'm in my 50s now, so I've seen it all from the, I guess, the elementary stages all the way through to where we are today. So it's, I can see someone who is definitely trying to start their lives and navigate through this place we call America, or just within the world. How can be a little bit of confusing and also a little bit of I wouldn't necessarily say scared, but uneasy. I would just use the word uneasy. So yeah, so just, you know, as you start to navigate life, just be very cognizant of the people that you meet, the places you go, your surroundings, opportunities, things to avoid, other mindsets that are completely opposite of you. So, you know, just again, just be careful. What's up, Mr. Bennett, man? Appreciate you just stopping through, man. I just appreciate it, man. I'm just going through some some information, and I got a little a slide I'm going to show about some opportunities for African Americans specifically. So yeah, so just sit back, enjoy. Thank y'all for coming, man. Appreciate you. You know, and that's all I ask. You know, if you can share it, fine. If not, just sit back. I'm gonna show some entertaining slides and some informational slides. I'm gonna cover topics from just some health, I guess some diagnoses that you may understand. So yeah, just sit back, and I'll get right into it. So let me just get right into it. So let me just remove this so you see the title, The Business of America. And here we have someone who you could take it about any kind of way you want. Someone who is toxic, someone who's dangerous, who may not have the correct vision for things they want to see and do. So just thought I'd lay some things out a little bit and just provide some information. So as I get through this, so when I was working in education, and when I was working with, I would say specifically 6th graders through 8th graders, a lot of those young people had been diagnosed with some behavior issues, with some academic issues, some social emotional issues, and quite a few were undiagnosed. And that was the population that I may have worked with, because within that, even though some may have had some behavior issues, they never really got diagnosed for any other underlying issues. Some that may have had social emotional issues, a lot of times they were overdiagnosed, and they were really good kids, good students, well behaved with engagement. I often used to have people tell me that this particular student is bad, this particular student is always angry, don't get along with peers, don't get along with teachers, don't get along with parents. But then when I would engage with them, they would be totally different. And over a period of time, I could actually see improvement of whether it was their behavior, whether it was their academics. You know, even some students who have had a high rate of truancy, a lot of times you saw that improve also. So, you know, I never just went by what someone said about a particular student. And I also applied it to my own life, you know, as far as meeting people. I didn't go by what other people said, how a person was. I just always took it upon myself to observe who they were to me. And that's how I always, you know, interacted with individuals. And if it was someone who wasn't under my same ideology, not necessarily ideology, not saying that, I don't have to agree with everybody, but we had some things that were in alignment together. So it was just always unique to hear that from people. So let's remove this little, I guess, I don't know how you look at it, but let's just say within this person's brain, there's just a lot of confusion going on. And sometimes when you get confused, can be a lot of anger that builds up. So, so one of the biggest diagnoses was ADHD. So, and there's different levels of ADHD, however you want to say it, different sectors of ADHD, and they've always been able to identify. They always identify certain social emotional issues. They sort of just put an identifier on it. So, if you were to say someone had ADHD, then what are the types of ADHD someone would have? And just the list here is just nothing fancy, but you have hyper fixations. We know kids are hyper. I think all of us were hyper at some point. But I think compared to years ago and today, we were allowed to sort of burn that energy off, especially during the summer months. You would be outside, running up and down the street for no reason, chasing girls for no reason, chasing boys for no reason. You climbing trees, you climbing up on top of garages, you at the monkey bars, you at the seesaw. You are just at the swing, jumping out of swings at 10 feet in the air. I would probably say most of us had hyperfixations, and now when you relate it to school, it's hard for young people today to sit in a desk 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Sometimes teachers, they are who they are. No knock on them, but Miss Jones may be boring. She just writes on the board, explains in a monotone voice, and talks about when she was young. And I'm 9, 10, 11 years old. That's boring to me. I want to get out. I want to burn energy. Really quick, I remember a time when my son was just a kid. He was probably about 7, right? And we were coming outside, just had to go. I don't know where we were going, but I know we was going to my car. And when he came outside, he just took off running towards the vehicle. And me, I'm like, boy, slow down, what are you doing? He just ran up the street and came back. And he's like, Daddy, I just had to run. I'm like, what you mean? He said, I just had to run. I just had energy. I just had to get outside and run. I'm like, okay. Then it started to click. Maybe he had that. So once that happened, I didn't prevent him from just, hey, we going outside, we going to the playground, we going to the basketball court, we going to ride a bike, we going to do something so you can burn this energy off. And then I started getting more into it, doing a little bit more background on it. I started to understand how parents sign their children up for soccer, because soccer allows you to just run. Because, in soccer, especially little kids, they can play 2 hours of soccer and 0-0. Ain't nobody scored a goal, but just the idea of those kids being able to burn that energy was very helpful. And unfortunately, I only saw mostly white children playing soccer, a few black kids. But those black kids seemed to be very mild-mannered, very respectful. So it was just unique. So when I seen it for myself, then I started recognizing it. Then I always understood how to get in front of it. And this is early age. I would say 5, 6, 7. When you try to, maybe earlier than that, depending on your child, when you try to get them to sit still. And a kid won't sit still for more than 10 seconds. They get to moving, twitching, see something in their eyes, over here, the peripheral vision. They move around. So, yeah, it's just unique. So just pay attention to your child if you have a young child, or even adults. Always hyper, always have to be on the move, on the go. So they may have an undiagnosed version of ADHD. Forgetting to eat or sleep. That's a unique one. I think all of us eat. A lot of us overeat. Sleep. You may have off and on sleep, sleep like a cat. What they call cat napping. So wake up, sleep, wake up. So I think that's unique also. So I may have that, because sometimes I fall asleep 2 hours, I'm up. I may fall asleep again. A couple hours later, I'm up. So that could be me at my old age. Black and white thinking. There's no gray area. It's just black and white. This is the way it is. Things are good. Things are bad. I would probably say most adults are like this. They don't see the good and the bad. They don't see possible good, possible bad. It's bad. All people are bad. All men are bad. All women are bad. And the same thing for men. All women are bad. Everything's bad. I ain't no good examples, but sometimes there are. Sometimes there's gray areas. Sometimes there's gray areas. So, and I salute to Mr. Bennett and my brother Sparta, they do a show called The Gray Area, because sometimes there's no clear-cut answer. You just have to, I would say, navigate through the process so you can get a clearer vision. But that also comes with patience. So just be mindful of that when you see that, specifically in your children, teenagers, they may have, even adults, like I said, you can have an experience at 15, and that experience carries on through your adult life, well into your 30s and 40s, to finally people start to break out of those things. Difficulty making decisions. Ooh, man, I think we all go through this, especially when we're young. And a lot of this stems from fear. A lot of us have fear of the unknown. Man, I don't know, man. What if I did this and this don't work out? And then we end up talking ourselves out of it. So, I don't know. It's just, I guess, something that, you just have to work through. And people can have all the information, done all the research they can, have everything, and still be skeptical. A lot of people have this issue with finances, maybe making investments. They want to invest, they want money, but I'm scared the stock market might crash. Over exaggerating the issue. What if it don't make no money? What if this? What if somebody take my money? So it's a lot of variables that may come with making difficult decisions. Always on the fence, never just going back to the previous ADHD monster, the black and white monster. Just make a decision. So that's unique. Definitely look out for that, especially when you start getting into with teenagers. A lot of times they back and forth. They can go back and forth within 10 minutes. They can be sad. 5-10 minutes later, now they laughing, telling jokes. 5 minutes after that, they can be mad. So it's just something, and when you look at these, all of them are not extreme. There may be little, nuggets within all of us. And I think we all can be one of these monsters at some point. Just be mindful of that when you see it. Just see if you can recognize any of them. Intense fear of rejection. I would say this applies to everyone trying to date. What if I get turned down? What if she leaves me? What if he beats me? What if he's everybody? I don't know. What I'm seeing now is everybody's within this fear mindset, afraid to take a chance on themselves, afraid to be different. What if people attack me? I see this a lot with women, though. They're afraid to hold each other accountable in fear of being rejected. What do they call that person? We hear it on YouTube. Oh, it's a pick-me. A pick-me because she has made a decision to be supportive of her man, her husband, but she's a pick-me. So it's a little crazy. What's up, Elevated Mind Healer? Appreciate you stopping by, young lady. Just appreciate you stopping by, So I appreciate you for sure. Intense fear of rejection. Yeah, I see it a lot. Oh, women are bad. Men are bad. Everybody cheats. Everybody's something. And a lot of people make those decisions based off other people's experiences and miss out on great opportunities, great people. So just be mindful of it when you see other people, when you see it out there. So, just be careful. And also, be careful on who you befriend. Be careful. Depression. Ooh, depression. That's a unique state of mind to me. That's a unique state of mind. I never understood depression, though. Because when I grew up in a time where if I'm hanging out with my friends, it wasn't nothing for us to sort of look at something that may be a flaw and just maybe tell a joke on it, or just, I don't know. I never really saw it until I was an adult. A lot of people, because I always thought it was sort of extreme, like they would just become a hermit, like pull back from the rest of society and always in their thoughts and never, so I never really understand it. Even when I read it, I was like, depressed? How do you, I always ask, how do you become depressed? But again, there's different variables to becoming depressed. And I've always equated to people not talking out their feelings to the people that may have harmed them or hurt them. And, we hide some of those things that we may deem as embarrassing, hurtful to us. I think a lot of people carry on those burdens and don't release them. And it prevents them to really, being the best version of who they can be, regardless of who they're trying to be. I think it prevents a lot of people from being the best version. So just listen to people's speech, how they speak about things, how they speak about themselves. They put themselves down a lot. Don't think that they're worthy. So always be mindful of people like that. If there's people close to you, then have them, try to get them to talk about it in an unbiased way. And sometimes people just need to have a listening ear, but do not allow them to continue to beat themselves down. Try to get them out of that mindset. Whether, again, it going back to going outside, riding a bike, flying a kite. I think flying a kite is one of the best things for somebody going through something. Because when you're in have a kite, you have to control the kite, make sure the wind catches it and don't get away. So, and I did a lot of that stuff as a kid. We used to fly kites, tie 2 or 3 reels of string on it, try to see if we can make it go to the clouds. Man, we used to do all kinds of stuff. Some people lost the kite, some string broke, some people just not paying attention, let it go. But, it was a lot of things that always put us in the mindset of just going and doing and figuring things out. Because we was outside a lot with ourselves. And it's like everybody stayed within their peer group, 2 to 3 years older, 2 to 3 years younger, and everybody else, with their own peer group. And we all navigated that part of life together. Sometimes we laughed at each other. Sometimes we cried with each other. Sometimes we were mad, ready to fight, push each other, wrestle each other. But we worked it out. Come out the next day, we right back to playing and, just going through young people stuff. So this unique. So just be mindful of that. And then auditory processing disorder issues. How do they hear it? It go in one ear. You never heard somebody say it go in one ear and out the other. Because what they may have heard may be different. It may be processed differently. And then when it comes out, they may act on it differently. So, what they hear, because some people don't always listen to the message. They listen to how it's said. You hear it all the time. Well, they was yelling at me. My daddy yelled at me all the time if he wanted me to really get something. He didn't say, well, son, how do you feel about it? What I'm ready to say. He would say it. He would curse it. As long as I understood it at the end of the day and I didn't repeat it, he was good. I didn't understand that till I was about 12, 13. And when I figured that out, he used to be talking, I'd be like, yes, Dad, you're right. I could have did something better. And that's all he was trying to get me to understand, that there's always different ways to do things. But when he was telling me, man, I wasn't listening. What are you talking about? Especially when I was a teenager, he was telling me stuff. I'm like, Man, you don't know what's going on. Just like we're here today. Older guys, younger guys, we be talking to them about life and relationships. Man, you don't know what's going on out here. Yes, we do. Because everything my father used to tell me when I go outside, I used to be like, man, he just told me about this 2 days ago. And it'll help me avoid a whole lot of issues. But again, when you're in your feelings, when people are telling you stuff, that's why I say it all the time, I don't care about feelings. I don't care about feelings. Because when you care about, not that I don't care about the person, it's just how they feel about certain things. Because certain things, you can't bring your feelings to. I can't bring my feelings to the job. How I feel about my wife and my family and people who sort of put me, they don't care. So, I've always just took that approach because people talk about me. Not every woman like my little ugly self, so I can't be mad. Oh, you disrespectful. No, I'm ugly to you. What am I supposed to do? I can't force you to like me. But again, not everybody's built the same, and I understand that. So, and it doesn't make them a bad person or me a bad person. It's just that I understand that certain people I don't need to be engaging with often and every day. I would avoid those people. So, I think you really need to. My father used to always tell me, listen to the message and not the messenger, because I can learn from a wino. And my father drank heavy. And I used to look at him like, I'm not going to be a drunk like that. Because he get in his feelings as soon as he start drinking. When he really get drunk, he used to be in his feelings crying. I used to look at him like, man, what are you crying for? You here with me every day. I see you in your underwear. What are you talking about? So, so just be mindful and careful of today, just how you say certain things to certain people. I notice on YouTube when I'm talking to adults, they may receive it a different way. But when I'm talking to teenagers, most of them will always say, man, what did you say? Oh, okay. When you first said it, I didn't hear it. Because you said it a certain way. And now that I hear you repeating it, I understand it now. See, and I used to always tell them, don't take your feelings out of it. Don't worry about how aggressively I'm saying it. Just listen to what I'm saying. And when they had a chance to reflect, sometimes they used to come back the next day. Hey, coach, you know what? I thought about what you said. See, that's when I knew it was good. I thought about what you said. And when they thought about it, you was right. I did what you told me to do, and it worked. I used to be like, now see? Now you put that in your tool belt and keep that with you. What did Elevate Mind Hill say? She said, walk with no shoes. Yep. Environmental issues, circumstances, situations, I believe, cause depression. Yes, I believe so. Environment, what is your closest environment around you? Friends, family, neighborhood, community. We see a lot of deletions in our community. A lot of that traumatizing, depressing. It makes you scared, nervous. Circumstances, some you can control, a lot you can't. But it's all age appropriate. Situations, I believe, yeah. Certain situations you put yourself in. Yeah, that is true. I surely believe a lot of that, certain situations you put yourself, especially as adults. We know right from wrong, but we just choose to make those decisions. Yep, Charlie Brown loved this guy. Yeah, a kite, boy, a kite will do wonders, especially with kids, young people. It'll do wonders, I'm telling you. So, yes, true feelings do get hurt. I totally agree with that. You are correct. However, when you're dealing with the world outside of those who should love you the most people don't care about feelings. And you probably don't, not saying you Elevate, but most of us probably don't care about other people's feelings either. So, yeah, just be mindful of things like that. Forgetting to use the restroom. Ooh, how many people can do that? As you get older, no, you got to go to the potty, per se. You got to go to the restroom. You can't hold it. Our bladder ain't as strong as it used to be when you was 12, where you can go all day. Sometimes you can block it out and wouldn't even think about it. And it's funny how it always come back when you get close to home or close to a restroom. It's like it just came, now you gotta go. So that's unique. Forgetting to use the restroom. Yeah. Now I would say that would be perfect, preferably number one. Well, no, that's both number one and number two. Because a lot of people used to hold it all day till they get home. Yeah. I would say a lot of adults do that too. They go to work, they might have to go, and they'll hold it all day. All day. So just be careful with that, because it can cause some health issues down the road. Just be careful. You might want to look into it. It can cause a lot of health issues. I had a friend play ball with, and he used to do very thing. Hold it all day, not go. One day it locked up on him. It locked up, and his stomach grew the size of a basketball, maybe bigger, maybe a medicine ball. If you ever, Mr. Bennett, you probably know, if you box, then a medicine ball, and lift weights, a medicine ball is a big oversized weighted ball. His belly grew to that size. He almost passed. He had emergency surgery. So that's why I say, if you have to go, go. Man, listen, we can go behind a dumpster, a building, a car door. You can pull off the side of the road, go down the little gully, and get it out. Women, y'all's may be a little different. Pull over at the rest stop. Pull over at McDonald's, Taco Bell. Do a little bird's nest. Take the rolls of toilet paper, spread it out over the seat. A couple of little sheets on each side. Just do a little bird's nest. But get it out. Don't hold it. Do not hold it. Don't get so caught up that you need to, no, let it out. There could be some health issues that could be lingering, I would say building over time. I knew people that had to use a bag. They got to the point where it became so bad they had to use a bag. So just be mindful of that. Difficulty sleeping. I didn't know that this would be an ADHD issue. But I guess certain people have difficulty sleeping. So, again, it could be something that's underlining that we just take for granted. So definitely, if you have difficulty sleeping, talk to your primary care doctor. See if there's any remedies that you can try. Suggestions outside of that: take your TV out your room, take it out, turn your phone off at 11 o'clock. Just turn it off. Put it on silent, flip it over on its face, put it on the floor next to you, but just sort of try to put yourself in that mindset. Buy you some of those face masks like you see people using on planes and stuff. Buy you something that's going to make your room black. You can get blackout curtains, turn off any night lights unless you're still the baby and you need a little night light. But yeah, just try to do things that can put you in a mindset where you can go to sleep. Again, one of the best things, talk to your primary care. They'll probably tell you some things I'm telling you. Take the TV out your room, turn your phone off, put it on put it on silent. Get you a little face mask, or some blackout curtains so no light won't get in your room, especially, so certain things you can try. So that's pretty, unique one. Poor impulse control. Oh my God. Now, we see people like that. What was that elevator? I don't care when I'm going to the bathroom. I carry, you carry tissue with you. That's one of the, all women should carry tissue. Carry some tissue. Yes, in case you have to go. Get it out your system. Don't hold it. Even urine, get it out your system. You can develop urinary tracts. Your bladder can burst. But get it out your system. Yes, do that. That's good. What else you say? The urinary tract won't hold much if you don't go to the You have to go in good time. When you feel that inkling coming, go. If you know you're going to go on a trip longer than an hour or two, you make sure you go before you leave. Make everybody go. Kids, the first thing they say, I don't have to go. You going anyway. I used to make my son go anyway. Next thing you know, he's in there longer than me. Man, if you don't come on, I'm not finished. Okay, I thought you didn't have to go. Oh, it just came. No, it was there. But again, going back to the forgetting to use the restroom. People do it. So definitely go. Yes. Yes, detox the colon. Yes, there's some remedies that the VA give me this. You see it in the store. I don't know if it's Mucilax or that little orange drink that they have. Yeah, it's a stool softener. It makes you, just cleans it out. So yeah, use that constantly because we eat a lot of junk. Let's be honest, our diets are not as healthy. Some foods we don't digest better than others. So sometimes we need help. Yeah, and we think about it. Not to get out. So, man, they say it's like it should be like soft ice cream. That's how it should be when it's coming out. If you got little rocks, definitely see your doctor. You get little pebbles, see your doctor. See your doctor. If it's like a sharp blade coming through, see your doctor. Stop trying to be tough. See your doctor. Because over time, you're talking about colon cancer, you're talking about rectum cancer, you're talking about anal cancer. See your doctor. If it's not like a long ice cream, 10, 12 inches, you may want to get a stool softener. If it's worse than that, see your doctor. If it's always black, see your doctor. Little squirts, see your doctor. You have to. It's very important. Yes, detox is what she says. At least every 6 months. Yeah, that's a good idea. See, listen, people have remedies. Don't shun someone's possible remedy. Try things out. You may be needing it every 3 months, not every 6 months, because you eat unhealthy. You eat a lot of takeout, a lot of junk food, but you do want to get it clean because it also affects with your thinking. It also affects with other things going on. So definitely take care of your body. It's very important. It's very important. Let me see. Struggle to recall commonly used words. Struggle to recall commonly used words. Yeah. If you have a forgetful a lot, yeah, could be an issue. Definitely get. I don't know what your commonly used words are, but if you notice that you are forgetting words, please talk to your doctor. Talk to a professional. Don't be afraid. Because if you take care of it early, it won't be an issue later. When you're young, when you're trying to build your family, when you're trying to build your career, you don't want to be derailed because of medical issues. You don't want to do that. Maybe when you get older like me, after you put yourself in a position where you can not work as hard, then, but when you're young, you don't want to have these issues. When you have children, you don't want them to have these issues. You want to teach them constant good physical health and mental health. I think we overlook that with our young people. But please, don't be afraid. Mood swings. Ooh-wee. Here we go. There you go. Mood swings. Yeah, Elevate. I like that because you do. We hold about 10, 20 pounds. Some of us hold more than 20 pounds. In our colon, yes, we do. I went to this, of course, in the military, it's a different type of, regiment that you're on. But about 2008, I went to this training. It was a man training because I was starting a program. And part of that program was going through this man training. So what it is, we went to Michigan for about 3 days. And for those 3 days, that's all they gave us was granolas and bananas. That's it. Bananas, they my friend, but they don't be acting right. So I can need a banana today, right now. 10 minutes later, I'll be like, hold up, I'll be back. I'm gonna be gone for about 10 more minutes. Granola, we know what that do. Within those 3 days, I lost 7 pounds because that's all we ate. That's all we ate. I lost 7 pounds. I'm like, 7 pounds? But again, when you take things to clean out that colon, it sort of releases pressure from other organs. A lot of things begin to get a little better within your physical selves. And I think it's very important, Elevated, yes, that we use things to increase our fiber intake. Apples, that what they call it, Mucinex. I don't know what civilian word because I don't get that. The military send me. They send me one every month. I got 9 bottles in there. Well, maybe 10 because the ones I opened I ain't even got halfway through. But yeah, it's very, especially today, it's important to make sure we try to eat healthy and set examples for those that are within our families and our loved ones who, they follow what we eat. I see it all the time. Women don't eat certain things, kids don't eat it. Women don't eat certain vegetables, kids don't eat it. And most kids need as many vegetables as they can eat. And you can mix it up, play games with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make it seem like it's a daunting task. I can't say, oh, my mama used to make me eat Brussels sprouts. I hate Brussels sprouts. Your mama knew what Brussels sprouts was good for your little raggedy system. Because she would go in the bathroom behind you and and it would smell like a rhinoceros just came out of there. So yeah, sometimes my kids don't know, but it's up to us to ensure that they get that information. That's right. We're at a time where new traditions are to be implemented. Yes, you're right. You're right. New traditions. And again, going back to who's not afraid to be that voice of reason, to be different. It takes a lot of courage, and I can understand, but don't be afraid of that. Pull, impulse, control, struggle to recall commonly used words. Commonly used words. Mood swings. Wow. You ever seen on panel somebody nice and calm? They be talking like they all intelligent, smart, and all. Then next thing you know, somebody will come up, or somebody will say something, and now they all angry. You're like, what just happened in this one? Mood swings. We call it bipolar. Don't know. Then they'll be calm again. Like, okay, we just spent 10 minutes because you was in your feelings about something, and now you back to normal. You know friends like that. You come around, they always in a bad mood. Then next thing you know, when they feeling good, they want you to feel good. When they feeling bad, they don't want to talk to you. But when they feeling good, they want to talk to you. Then questioning you, like, what's wrong with you? Didn't you just forget you just cursed me out 2 days ago? Like ain't nothing happened. So be mindful when you see people like that. Just, have conversations. Ask them to think about certain things, Yes, music, yes, that's it. Is that it? Oh, yeah. Castor oil, yeah, all that's good for you. They sell some stuff called Father John's. Mother was quick to give us some Father John. Yeah, so it's what's that? That citrus nitrate. So like a little clear, like a carbonated drink that you can use that. I remember going to get my checkup. They gave me that. I had to drink that, and boy, believe me, you need to have one of them little bedside stools when you drink stuff like that, because that's gonna sort of gonna rip your lining out your intestines. But it works. It's really good. It works. So. Yeah, you're right, Elevator. Yeah, you use something like that. You say you a rebel at heart. So I'm doing it all different. By God, yeah. Yeah, you have to try different things. And everything is not going to work the same way for everybody. So consult with a medical professional before you just go taking certain things and putting it in your system. Now you got side effects. You have these side effects that some people won't have. So definitely talk to a medical professional. I'll tell you a good test that you could probably get run, and it may be called something different, but a food allergy test where they test the foods to see if you're allergic to them. I learned about it doing a trainer. A trainer told me that one time. He showed me his list. He had about 35 different foods he was allergic to. He's like, man, those are some of my favorite foods. But he had to cut them out of his diet. So, yeah, do that. It's very important sometimes to know what foods your body is allergic to. Not that you may have an allergic reaction, but internally your body is going through havoc. So, yeah, get a food allergy test. That'll tell you a lot, because some foods you eat every day are not healthy for you. Our favorite foods. And it can be something that we think is healthy. Like I said, bananas, you can be eating an apple, and some of that stuff just may not be healthy. So just consult with your medical professional. Don't be afraid. That's what they're there for, to make sure that we are giving the best advice for our health to be here for a long time. Difficulty sleeping, yeah. I went through that thing. Let me see. No, I said it. Well, it seemed like they got that twice. So, yeah, difficulty sleeping. Anxiety. See, people get anxiety, especially when they go into small places. Whenever I go get an MRI, they always ask me, "Are you afraid of small places?" I say no, but when I'm getting it, I'm like, "Oh my God, what if something happened to me and I can't make it out?" Because they sort of strap you in, you got your hands crossed, you get uncomfortable. If your nose itch, you can't bring your hands up. If your leg itch, anything itch, you can't do it. But they give you this little buzzer in your hand in case you need it. I used to buzz it. Then they pull me out. "What's wrong, sir?" "Oh, my nose itch." "Oh, okay." Now, no, they looking at me like, "Man, you called us in here for that." "My leg itch." Your back itch. That's the worst itch. And you can't move when you get an MRI. You cannot move. And I done had MRIs on my back, my elbow, my shoulder, my knee, my hips, everything. So you can't move. Because if not, it prolongs the MRI. MRI lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. So be cognizant of things that give you anxiety. It can be people. It can be places. It can be things. So just be cognizant of that. See how people react when certain people come in the room. Certain people that they may be fond of, they may not like. See how they anxiety, the levels may increase or decrease based off of that. Even our children, just watch how, they respond to certain things. So, yeah, it's very interesting, certain things about our lives and things that go on. Let me just stop this here. So, sensory processing disorder, yes. Our senses, a lot of time when our senses are heightened, we don't think clearly. Going back to, it's almost like having anxiety or being excited, and when it happens, a lot of things get thrown off. You don't hear what they say, huh? Well, I ain't hear you. You don't see, "Oh, I didn't see that," because you're not paying attention. So it's always good to, again, consult with the medical professional. What to say, I'm a rebel, yeah, so elevated mass, yeah. Yeah, I get you. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. A lot of that's true. The MRIs are annoying. Yes, it is. Yes, they are ignoring. They are annoying. Yes, they are. Yes, and doing a levels test, checking everything. Your body is low on vitamins. And yeah, that's true. I think you can see that when, I think all of these can apply to someone when their levels of vitamins are low and their minerals are low and their pH is off. Everything is probably affected by that. They go through mood swings, they be hyper. Yeah, they may have anxiety, difficulty sleeping. So yeah, it's interesting to, that people actually go through certain things, and that's just part of who we are. So definitely, be cognizant of that, be mindful of that, of the people that are in our circle. Don't be afraid to have those tough conversations sometime with the group of friends or family members to make sure that everyone is getting the proper treatment that they need to sort of combat these things, because they can become an issue over a prolonged period of time. So yeah, definitely be careful. Last one on this chart would be difficulty switching tasks. Oh my God. I think everybody go to work. Have this one. How people say, "That ain't my job"? You better not work with youth then. You better not work in education. You stay going to your little office, signing your little papers, typing up your little reports. Nah, don't work with youth. Because you're going to do more than just your task. You're going to do more than just your task. Believe me. I was working in counseling. I was mentoring. I was coaching. I was teaching. I was doing ACT tests. I was doing those yearly exams that they, I don't know, we used to call them achievement tests. We used to do all that. And yeah, you're going to be more, you're going to be a father, uncle, big brother. You're going to be a mediator. You're going to be the villain sometime. You're going to be that when you're going to be a snitch. You're going to be all of that. So yeah, certain positions don't even apply to it. It may sound good on the outside, but if you're not built a certain way, it ain't gonna work for you. It is not gonna work. Let me say, let me see if I can see that. Magnesium is really good for people, and a lot of people are low on it. Yep, that's true. McDonald's worker, that ain't my job. Yes. Especially people with the lowest tier job. How you work at McDonald's and the only thing you think you're going to stay on is fries all day? No. If you really want to learn the job, you move around to different positions. That's just part of it. You're not just going to go on. On your application, you didn't say, yeah, I'm just applying for the French fry guy. No. You go mop the floor. You go clean the lobby. You're going to do a lot. Clean the grease pan, fry some chicken, fry the burger. You're going to do a lot. And that's how you have to sort of approach these certain jobs. You have to go in with the mindset that I want to learn as much as I can. Because what we're seeing now is people with that mindset, oh, that ain't my job. Oh, they take notes. May not affect you today, but they'll take notes. Don't believe that. They'll take notes. So when they go to cut back and they starting to downsize, guess who's the first to go? And you sitting up there, why y'all firing me? I've been coming to work every day. They find you see them on YouTube, man, they ain't had no right to fire me. They was wrong. No, they was right. Because you're a liability to the company, whether big or small. You didn't want to do no other parts. You complain because you had to go outside. No. I use my own example. One time, I was young. I was probably about 20, 21, about 20. I had got a job at O'Charley's. O'Charley's was fairly new at the time, I think. This was like 89, 88, 89, right? So I got a job at O'Charley's. And I took the job as a dishwasher. I'm cool. I ain't never complain about work. I ain't mind working, whatever. I was young, so I'm like, hey, I come home from college, summertime, give me a job. They call me, hey, I'll go get a job. And I used to clean dishes fast, too. Every time I had a job, I just did a fast job. It was crazy. So I used to get there early, before they open. I would sort of go through the main dining area, go through maybe vacuum, whatever, straighten some chairs, basic stuff. And then I remember one time the general manager was coming through, right? And it was raining. And the supervisor at the time go tell me to go outside and pick up cigarette butts. Man, I'm not picking up no cigarette butts. What are you talking about? Well, he's coming, he gonna be looking at the ground. I said, man, it is raining outside. He is not gonna be thinking about nobody's cigarette butts. What are you talking about? He said, we got to go pick it up. I don't care. Man, listen, I'm not picking up no cigarette butts. So we go outside. Guess what I was doing? I was holding the umbrella while he was picking up the cigarette butts. But the whole time we walking, I'm saying to myself, this is my last day. This is my last day. So what happened? We go back in after we finish picking up about 8 cigarette butts. 8 cigarettes. And I ain't talking about the cigarette butts that go to the entrance. I'm talking about the cigarette butts on the backside where the workers probably put that shit. I didn't smoke, so I don't pick up cigarette butts. I told him, man, I don't smoke. I ain't picking up nobody's cigarette butt. So again, at that day, the last time I went back to O'Charley's, I went back to pick up my check about 10 days later. I don't know, it's probably about $150, $100, because back then $335 was your basic pay. That's what it was. We took it with pride. And I moved on. Never went back to a restaurant again. My one experience. Never went, well, that's not true. Because in college I did work at, what's it called? That a Burger, What's a Burger, down in Mississippi for about a month. Yeah, I did that I was on the grill then because I had been out of the military and did all that. So I understood. I was popping 400 or 500 burgers, because they had a little happy hour between 11 and 1. You can get 3 burgers, about nice size too, about like this, for 99 for for $1. Man, them boys used to come in there. Let me get 20 burgers. Let me get 15, 16. That was orders. And boy, I used to fry them burgers up, flipping them. And that was a cool little job. But I did that for about a month. Like, nah. Again, restaurant jobs wasn't for me. That's why I knew, like, I might better make sure I graduate college. And believe me, I worked as hard as I could to make sure that I wouldn't have to be that restaurant job. Because when I was coming up, everybody that worked in the restaurant was teenagers. The manager may have been 21, but everybody else was teenagers. That was our job as teenagers. Now you go in a restaurant, what you see, 34, 35, 38, 40. And have a conversation with them. Why you end up working here? Well, I didn't do what I had to do when I was younger. Yep, there you go. You know, not everybody. Some people, you know, that's what they want to do, but a lot of people just, that's as far as they can go. That's the level where they can get a job. And I'm not just saying restaurants. They're, you know, cleaning jobs, things like that. Amazon, which is not a bad job for a young person, but it's backbreaking. When I was working as a counselor, a lot of young women used to come in there talking about, I want to go to school. Why? Because I work at the warehouse and it's killing me. It's breaking my back. My back is hurting right now. Even young guys. So just be mindful that when you're young, it's the greatest time to get those experiences. So as you get older, you don't have to force yourself in those compromising positions. So yeah, I just wanted to go through this really quick. This little ADHD monster chart, because we all have some form of it at some point in life. Till you get old, you start getting to your late 40s, you know, you looking at stuff like, it ain't worth the fight. You know, believe me, if you still trying to fight people on being better and fight with mindsets, you're wasting time. You know, focus on what you can change and just make it better. Because sometimes it'll leapfrog. It may leapfrog to a position where like, oh, this is where I want it to be. But yeah, don't waste time after a certain age. Just don't do it. I wouldn't be picking up cigarette butts. You riding that elevator down hill, I ain't picking up no cigarette butts. That's why I push tray. Yes, I do push tray too. And it's according to the smarts of the person. Some students, you know, in high school, I had some great students. They were A, B, on the road. Yes, you go to college. You take up a good career. You become something that's going to give you the satisfaction you need. You want them C, D, F, you know, sometime a B in gym, or, you know, lunch. You get a B in lunch. You need to pick up a trade. Go to the military. You need a little bit more discipline. You can't say I want to be a doctor, but on your report card, that's all you got is C's and a D. You're not a doctor. Sorry to tell you that you're right. You're not a doctor. But again, some people, it is what it is. What's up, iPain, man? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. For sure, man. For sure, man. Just, you know, just going through my little chart, giving some little information, man. But I appreciate you stopping by, brother. So we done went through the ADHD monster chart. iPain, you might be one of these. I have been one of these at some point, man, in your younger life, man. You know, before we joined the frat, man. But yeah, man, you know, just ADHD monsters. So I have a few more charts, and then I'm going to get into some crazy stuff. So let's move on from this ADHD monster. Now, we go into the teenagers. We want to have teenagers. We got young people that we work with, right? 12 reminders for my teenager. Okay, manners will always count. This can apply to adults, too. A lot of people don't use manners. When I was young, hey, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, and no, sir. And it's crazy because my parents didn't require us to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, and no, sir. But they required it for us to say it to other people outside the home. That's what they let a report get back to my father that he saw Miss Jones and I didn't say yes, ma'am. Oh, it was hell and high water to pay. So I've always used that technique, you know, yes, ma'am, no, sir. Especially when it comes to people I don't know, you know, that I would say that I considered older. Like my brother, Mr. Politics, Marriage Politics, yeah, he's a yes, sir to me. I would give him a yes, sir. He's my senior. My brother, Mr. Bennett, he's my peer. So I may give him a yes, sir in a business setting, You know what I'm saying? But if we just like lifting weights or just shooting some hoops, he's Brother Bennett. You know what I'm saying? So I look at things in the peer group. Like in this elevated Mount Heller, she may be young lady because she's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? So I just compartmentalize people as far as the level of respect that I would give. If I come in your house, I'm going to take off my hat. I go into a building, I take off my hat. You know, I'm not going to move just like this is where I own. No, I'm going to move accordingly. So, yeah, it's just interesting. Outside the home, I had to use those too, but not at home. Yeah, see, some people, you know, some people's parents was cool. But my father, he wish you would say yeah. If he called me and I said yeah, oh my God. Oh my God. He would like come out of himself. He would just go crazy. Yes was the word that he wanted. Yes and no. Yes, yeah. Oh my God. He would just go off. He hated the word nigga too. But he called you every other name. MF, SOB, all that. And I'm like, dude, you wild. But that was who he was, and I appreciate it. Let me see, number 2. You won't be everyone's cup of tea. Ooh, yes. See? That's part of relationships. Everybody don't like light-skinned, ugly, bald-head dudes like me. So why am I going to get caught up in what they want? I know what I like. It is what it is. Some people don't have a sense of humor. I like to laugh. I'm not going to get mad at somebody that don't have a sense of humor. I may not be tall enough for some people. Okay. That's okay with me. I don't care about it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Sometimes people call me mean until they know me like, man, I thought you was mean, but you cool. Okay, yeah. See, you made an assumption. I teach my daughter the same thing. Yep. Sometimes we just got to step outside of who we are for our children to be better. Yeah, so, you know, just little things, you know, for, again, this is just a list of 12 things for young people to just, and again, like Elevate, we all have children at some point who are children, you know, when they're young, they're children, right? So just certain things to implement in them so they can be better than us. That's my whole goal. All I said, man, is if I have children, I want them to be better than me. And not that I was doing bad, but I just want them to be better than me. And I took what my parents gave me and what I learned on my own and just tried to say, hey, this is the information I'm going to give to you. And you're going to take it and learn some new things for yourself. So complaining is a waste of time. Ooh, yeah. Y'all know complainers always got something negative to say. It's always bad. It ain't never gonna happen for me. Let me get some water, young folk. So yeah, let me see it. I know I'm not everyone's cup of, what's that, fresca, but I'm somebody's cup of whiskey. Straight, yeah. See, that's a great mind to have. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah. Everybody don't, like I said, everybody is not gonna be, well, you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. So just accept it and don't waste time trying to convince somebody to accept you. If they don't accept you, move on. Move on. But they're also always looked at it. There probably could be some things that I can improve on. But even then, when you improve on it, then the next round of people, you may not be their cup of tea. So it's a never winning cycle, but everybody's different. So don't be too hard on yourself if somebody don't like you. Complaining is a waste of time. Yes, it is. Does not get the job done. If you're one of those complainers, the worst place for you to go to is the military. They don't give a damn. You can complain all the time you want, but guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be working it out. You can complain the whole time you're on the range. And guess what? Your ass going to be on the range. You can complain the whole time because what they do in the military is crazy. They will bust you out somewhere. Well, they don't bust you out. Let me stop that. They put you in cattle trucks. Enclosed cattle trucks. There might be a few seats on the side, some poles to stand up, but that's it. 60 people in a cattle truck, rucksack on, weapon in hand. And they would bust you out about 5 miles. And you go through the little training out that 5 miles out. You training, you having a good day. They gonna feed you out there. You might eat an MRE. They might bring some hot food for you, just like you would have if you were in combat in the field. So MRE is just a meal in a pack. You might have to eat it cold. It is what it is, and they can be spaghetti and meatballs. It can be chicken a la carte rice, and it can be a whole lot. Then they give you old dried fruit. You have to put water on it to make it soft. But again, that's what it is. Ain't no, you can complain. I ain't eating this day and you don't eat. And the crazy part about it, once they get you out there, you go through the training. And every training, you would have to be back to base camp before chow ended. Because chow ended about 6:30. So let's just say we go out to our training at 9 in the morning after we done did 2 hours of PT, cleaned up the barracks, because the barracks got to be clean. Everybody's sheets, socks, t-shirts have to be the same way inside their room, in their closet. Everybody's stuff had to be the same. If not, while you out training all day, they can be back at the barracks destroying everything, turning over your bed, throwing your stuff out your drawer. Everything is just like somebody robbed you. Just like, what the hell? So when you out there training, end of the day, you ain't getting back on no cattle truck to get back. So if we got to be back at 3:30, guess what we doing? Everybody get their packs. Let's go. You get in your platoon, you line up, and guess what? Your ass is walking back. Walking with all this on your back, 50 pounds, and your weapon at arms, because you got to walk. It's a relaxed walk, but you just walking. Somewhere along the way, down through that training, you done got to this point in training, they might throw some gas out there. Poof. Just throw you start seeing gas, and the first thing you do is you grab your gas mask. And if your gas mask ain't sealed, you're going to be sucking up chemicals. So the gas mask had to be sealed. They teach you how to do it. You should be able to pull your gas mask out and get it on your face within 10 seconds. And believe me, there are some dudes that couldn't think that fast. And guess what? They had gas all in their eyes, all they ingested gas. So it was crazy. But they wouldn't let you get to a point where it's medically severe. But it was just unique how the training went. So you can complain all you want. It's just a waste of time, because you still walking while you complaining. And if they hear you, they're going to drop in you and give you 50, 60 push-ups, some sit-ups, some leg lifts, all that. So it wouldn't behoove you to complain. Even today, if you sign up for a job, you fill out the application, you read the job description, don't be in there complaining when they tell your ass to do part of your job. Just do it. Just do it. It doesn't get you anywhere to complain. Kindness is always an answer. Yeah. Be kind. Be kind to respect. I'll say that. And the respect is, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Say excuse me before you tell somebody to move. So, what's the matter? Exactly. That's why I say, yeah, you have to. ADHD was getting yes, and it was. I'm not. Yeah, that's it. The ADHD might have been. They might have been one of these ADHD monsters at the time. You're right. Kindness is always the answer. Yeah, and these are, like I said, this list is great for young people, even adults. Some people get out of whack, out of touch. Sometimes you just have to go back to the basics. And with young people, a lot of it is just basic things that people don't talk about. Be kind. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, no, ma'am. May I? Thank you. I appreciate you. Things like that. Especially with older people. They take that stuff to heart. Oh, you're so nice, young man, young lady. Yes, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Your emotions will take... Oh, what does it say? You don't have to figure it out all... Hold up. You don't have to figure it out all... Oh, okay, so let me go back. You don't have to figure it all out now. You don't. Yeah, you don't have to figure it all out now. You don't. You don't have to figure it all out. You're not going to have all the answers. Some people you ask that's gone through some stuff and done great things, they're not going to have all the answers to where you are in your space. So don't get caught up in it. But just the things that you do figure out, hold on to it. Because there's another piece to the puzzle somewhere down the road or from someone. That's why I say you can't get caught up in how people say certain things. Sometimes you just listen and just take the good. What they say, ingest the good, spit out the bad. Yeah, that's it. That's all. You know, you're not going to figure it out on. None of us do. That's why we can say when we in our 50s and 40s, we're like, you should be doing this because we didn't know that shit. A lot of us didn't know it back 20 years ago. You know, when you get grown, now everything come to clear. If I was 19 all over again, I would do it this. Yeah, of course. Hindsight is 20/20. But in that moment, what I've told y'all, that's why I say you can't be too hard on yourself when you make mistakes. It's going to happen. Can't be too hard on yourself. You cannot do it. Yeah, our pain, man. You know, I just found it. You think it's good for adults, our pain? Yeah, just young folks. But yeah, even adults have issues with this. Let me see. Your emotions will take practice. Yeah. Emotions. A lot of people can't control their emotions because it's going back to how people have triggers. Yeah, that's a good one. Your emotions, it takes practice. If you have a coach, you better have some solid emotions. I can say that. Because kids, sometimes they just do the dumbest stuff and they don't even know it. They look at you like, what I do wrong? I told you go left and you went right 3 times. You know, I had a kid, it's crazy. When I was coaching football, right? Had a great team though. 24 players, we were undefeated. I was the only coach, it was crazy. Had a tight end. Hell of a blocker. Always made the block, but he couldn't catch worth nothing. I'm talking about he could not catch. I believe he was colorblind or he needed glasses, one of the two. But I know he couldn't catch. And one day, I told him, I said, listen, man, this game, we're going to throw you a tight end dump. Very simple pass. He come off the line, he blocked for a second, then he just turn around and catch the ball. So we practiced this play 15 times. He dropped the ball 15 times. It was like a 4-yard pass. The quarterback was lobbing it to him. He couldn't catch it. Every time he hit it, it bounced off. I was like, man, you can't catch. And we laughed. You talking about a day we laughed on the football field? We laughed the rest of the practice. We just laughed. And he was laughing too. And he didn't take it like, oh, they coming down on no. He knew. He was like, coach, I can't catch. I said, man, you going to catch. You can catch. And we spent 15 plays, I promise. Maybe more. But it was a lot. And the water girls was laughing. Everybody was laughing. Sometimes I was just like, okay, the center, the quarterback, and the tight end. Okay, nobody else move. So he would just come off the line, turn around, boop, boop, boop. He found it down. He tried to catch it all the way to the ground, still couldn't catch that shit. I was like, boy, this kid right here. I think he ended up making all state his senior year. But as a freshman, he couldn't catch. But he could block, though. I used to run his side all the time. He would always make the block. Yeah. Another good one. Forge your own path. Even if you're alone. I think this is very critical for most young men. As a young man, you have to be willing to forge your own path. And I can say it can apply to young women too, especially a lot of young people today that claim that they come from these toxic homes. At some point, you have to get away. You have to get out on your own. Let your instincts kick in. Because a lot of us just say we surviving anyway. So why not go survive outside of your comfort zone? Get out of your twin-size bed. Get out of your neighborhood that you say is so bad and allow your instincts to survive the kick in. I had to do it for myself. I had to. But it takes courage. You can't think about what would happen. You just use what you know to be right. Find people who are on the right path and just go forward. 21-year-old son, hey, I told him, I said, man, you have to go find your way. You have to. And he's doing okay. I can say that, he's on the right path. He's on the right path, and we talk often on the phone and just about, just doing the right thing. That's all I tell him. I'm going to tell you that for the rest of your life. Just do the right thing. Be able to look back on your life and say, hey, I did it the right way. Despite whatever else was going on. You do it the right way, it pays off when you get old and ugly like me. So, and some people have done it. I've met a lot of great people on YouTube, especially guys that are my age, a little older. Yeah, we can look back and say, hell yeah, we did. I had to come to this, understand my brother, marriage politics, like shit. He put in hard work to get where he's at. You know what? You're right. I'll put in hard work to get where I'm at. So the hell with somebody feel. No, but it's just part of life, though. It's part of life. So yeah, I think it's very important. So you are what you allow in your life. Ooh, be strong, yeah. Birds of a feather flock together. You hang around stupid friends, you're going to do stupid shit. See it all the time. People crashing out. Yeah, you are what you allow in your life. And that's including the food. Yeah, you're right. Yes, listen to respond, not to react. Yes, Elevate. This is a great list for all people, but best be learned when folks are young. Yes, Arpain, that is true, brother. Emotions need to be regulated correctly. Yes, but it also takes practice too. It also takes, to me, I've always thought talking those emotions out to the people that may have hurt you the most. Really, sometimes you just have to release that burden so you can just be the best version of you. And things will start, sometimes they become a little clearer. And if you ever know anything about racehorses, they have these blinders on their face. If you ever watch the Kentucky Derby, that's May 3rd. This year's May 3rd. Watch how the horses all have these blinders, right? The blinders are so they won't look to the side and see the other horses coming and get to a point where they feel like they won't win. So the blinders keep them focused on the end goal. And that's it. That's all the blinders do. Just keep them focused on the end goal. And that's what you got to have sometime. Sometime in different parts of your life. You have to put on the blinders if you want to get something accomplished. Forget the distractions. The distractions are going to be there whether you succeed or not. Sometimes you just have to forge your own path, even if you're alone, and go. You are what you allow in your life. Yes. Be cognizant of the friends that you bring into your life, the people you meet, those that have always been in your life telling you, questioning you, why you going to do that? I wouldn't do that. That's why you're not them. Those are the people you have to get away from. Let them be who they are. Because when you come back in a couple years, whatever, not saying you leave and don't come back, but when you come back around, guess what? The first thing they're going to do? Hey, Elevated, since you done got all big time and everything, let me buy a little change. Let me get a little money. And do like I do. Girl, you should have called me yesterday. I had it yesterday, but I gave it away already. And watch how fast they scatter away. And now next time they see you, oh, you big time. You too good for me. No, you just trying to be better. That's all it is. It happens to all of us. None of us are exempt for these things. But don't be so hard on yourself. It's just part of life. So 9, learn to love yourself first. Yes, I love me first. And then it trickles down to everybody else. Because if I can love me, I can love everybody else. And I expect people in my life to love me. If they don't love me, well, I don't expect them to love me. I do expect them to respect me. And to me, that respect is a part of love to me. It may not be to everybody else, may not seem as big, but to me it's a big thing. Respect me, and I'm okay with that. If you talk about me in my face, guess what? I'm going to talk about your back. You can't spit on me and say, hey, don't spit on me back. No, I ain't going to spit on him and slap you. But again, I'm not going to spend too much time wasting on that. Once I realize it, I'll just distance myself from it. I don't have to keep on going somewhere where I'm not at least respected. No, you can't do that. So, number 10, you will always pass failure on your way to success. Ooh, yes. Learn from it. Stay humble. Yep. That's what it is. When you on your way to success, you don't have to throw it in everybody's face. That's what we do. Oh, you broke? I got this, I got that. Nah, I ain't got shit. I ain't got nothing. I stay humble. Well, now that I'm a little older, I can talk a little shit. I'm old now. My record shows I had to do what I had to do. Yeah, I'm old now, yeah. When I was playing sports, I never really talked about how good I was. You could be over talking about, oh man, I'll beat you. Okay, let's race. Oh man, I'll tackle you. Okay, come on, tackle me. You had to prove to me. And even in that, even in the victory, I was still humble. I still didn't brag and go back, that's what I get now. Now, I'm old. You ever heard how old people do when they get to a certain age, they just talk their shit. They just tell you how they feel for real. You're like, okay, because they passed all that. They passed all that. They don't learn, they don't have success, they don't fail. That's just part of life. And a lot of times you'll meet people who may not be moving in the same direction or going to that same level, but that doesn't mean that they're not happy where they are. Yes. I love me first as always. Yes. You love yourself. Self-love is great. Yes, it is. Stay humble. What does it say? Yeah, I can't read. I guess stay humble, that's to say. Yeah, stay humble throughout the process. Because when you stay humble, you can always stay connected to those that are giving you the praise to get there. Those that are supporting you along the way. So, yeah, it's very good to stay humble with your success, again, because that's as fast as you go up, you'll go back down faster. Because on the way up, there's roadblocks. There's roadblocks in the way. But on your way down, guess what everybody gonna do? They're gonna move straight out the way and let you slide all the way down. Like, oh, there you go. So just be careful. Number 11, be grateful for every new sunrise. Yes. I wake up, I'll be happy. Ooh. Especially because it's like you have dreams towards the end of your sleep. Then last little 20, 30 minutes, you have a crazy dream. I have crazy dreams all the time. I tell my wife all the time about the crazy dreams I have. But yeah, you have to be, grateful for every day you wake up. Just be grateful. Be appreciative of just that day. It ain't about what you do sometimes. Just being appreciative that you even woke up. Number 12, no matter what life throws at you, you can always lean on me. I love you. And I'm not talking about me specifically. You're going to go through ups and downs in life. You're going to have some good times, some bad times. But that's part of life. You're going to have loved ones that are no longer here. People that you relied on. People that you might not have liked or didn't like you. You know what I'm saying? But you still have an opportunity to always love who you are. Respect others. Respect places. Respect things. Don't spend your life complaining. And understanding that you're not everybody's cup of tea. So, again, it's just a little list that I found interesting that I thought could be beneficial. And although it says for teenagers, adults can use it too. Definitely. Adults can. This could probably be a list passed around on YouTube because a lot of people may touch on one of these 12 throughout their week or day. Let me say true. I do too. You aren't. I can't see that bottom part. I don't know if it's just this little, the way it's set up on my screen, but yeah, it's true. Some of these things that you can apply today, some may not be able to apply to years down the road. Some you may have already experienced. So just be mindful that I have 2 more things, then I'm gonna get into the meat of it. So let's see. Just ways to think faster. How can you decide faster? Limit your options. Yes. You want to be able to make better decisions, think a little faster, just limit your options. Draw a line between good and bad choices. Yes. You make a bad choice, it could affect you the rest of your life. But just draw a line with it. I saw what was out there going on in the streets. I grew up trying to avoid it. I saw people stealing cars, selling drugs, using drugs. I did not want to be one of those people. I love the fact that I was freely able to leave my house every day, go outside, go play ball, ride my bike, ride my moped, play football, play basketball, talk to girls, go skating, go to the. I loved all of that. And I wasn't going to let anyone or anything stop me from doing it. I wasn't. My childhood was beautiful to me. And I've always tried to just implement that to other people that I've been able to, I would say, work with, communicate with in any capacity. That just be careful of the decisions that you make. One decision could affect your life, especially if you look like me. It didn't matter. If you got the big nose and the big lips, you get outside and make some no dumb ass decisions if you want to. We see it on YouTube. We get information on people who done stuff, and what we do, we crucify them based off the choices that they have made. Listen to your gut feeling. Yeah, that's a good one. Listen to your gut feeling. If something ain't for you, stay away from it. But don't be afraid sometimes. If you have you come across some good information, do your little research a little bit more before you make a final decision. But don't be afraid based off what everybody else feel about it. That's why when you're dealing with life outside of the loved ones, you can't always put your feelings into it. You can't. Just come with the truth and logic. I appreciate everybody in the chat, especially you, Elevate, man, Healing, my brother, I Pain. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for real. So, like I said, I don't do a lot of fighting over here. I'm just giving a little experiences and remedies to try to just be better, man, because we can all use it. Think of your time as money. Yes, your time is money, especially today. Everybody chases money, but they don't want to put in the time. Your time is money. That's a big one. Put in the time to create the outcomes that you want. So know that decisiveness grows with each decision. Some people are indecisive, but each time you get comfortable with, it goes back to drawing the line between good and bad decisions. Yeah. When you make good decisions, you are very decisive. When you make bad decisions, you are indecisive. So yeah, just be cognizant of that. You have to. I appreciate this wisdom. Oh, I appreciate you for just stopping by listening to my old self. Remember that indecisions kill. Ooh, yes. Indecisions kill your dreams, kill your hopes, kill your desires. Kill your wants, kill your needs. So just be decisive in whatever it is that you decide to do. Do your research first. Do your research. There's always a positive and a negative outcome for each thing that we do in life, always. And if the negative outcome is something that you can't handle, don't put yourself through it. Believe me, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not wasting your time. It's not. So please do not do that. Do not do it. Yeah, so now I'm going to get into the thick of it. Here we go. So yeah, just again, I appreciate y'all just stopping by, man. Just hanging out with me, going through these little things. So now we're going to get into some crazy stuff. I'm going to show a video, then I'm going to get into this great opportunity for business for people of color. So so now we see this, right? Some of y'all may have seen this, but let me tell you something. Listen, folks. Hygiene is very important. Hygiene is very important. That's taking a bath, taking a shower, taking a bath, taking a shower, grooming your hair, nose hair, your ear hair, whatever you got to groom, your private hair, your front hair, your back. It's very important. It's very important. And today, people seem to always want to take a shortcut. Always want to take a shortcut. So listen, be very, 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 very cognizant that hygiene is a part of mental health. It's a part of mental health. Because I would fair to believe that a lot of people with bad hygiene have mental health issues. There's something going on to where they don't value themselves. So be very cognizant of that. So now I'm just going to play this video and y'all can tell me what you think. This is just me. Let me go to it. So here we go. Okay, see, first mistake. See all that? You pull all that out, it looks scary. Even where her hand is at, it just looks scary to me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Does it look scary to you? Elevator, does this look scary to you just the way she got her hand? Now she done pulled out this big old fupa, and it looks scary. Am I wrong? It just looks scary to me, the way her hand is placed. And here she say, yeah. So you obviously see that she has a product in her hand, right? And this product, to me, is a waste of money. No. Okay. Let the video play. Okay, so this is probably common with big girls and big people. I ain't gonna just say women, but men too. It's common, right? And a lot of us equate taking a shower to taking a bath. A lot of us don't exfoliate our skin. A lot of us have bad eating habits. This is where a lot of this comes from, bad eating habits. A lot of us clog our pores by putting a lot of lotions and oils on our skin. Sometimes you have to let your pores breathe. But again, I could be wrong. But the fact that she has a product, I remember you used to just use deodorant for your musty underarms. Now we have deodorant for the whole body. When the hell are they taking baths? Because I know hot water and some good Dow antibacterial soap will kill all that. Not the Dove, not the Caress, antibacterial Dow. That's what it's for, antibacterial. What does it do? It fights bacteria. That's what it does. But again, we listen to everybody making money off of us and we promote these products. But then once your pores open up, these products get into your skin. And over time, they build up. But again, I could be wrong. I know grandmamas always said, take a bath. Sit down and soak all that. Soak all that crust off your cheeks. Soak it. But again, I could be wrong. So let's just go. Elevated, yes. It's a deodorant stick. But they have it for the body. You hear that loony, and it's a couple of other ones they coming out with. Just, come on now. But again, a lot of this odor that comes from people's body because of their bad eating habits. A lot of people, what we do, we take a lot of sugar. We ingest a lot of sugar into our system. That's the worst thing for us. We own everything that we eat. We own it. And sometimes we can't work it out. We have bad eating habits for 10 years, then say I'm going to lose weight. No. You're going to take you 10 years to lose weight because you're still eating sugar, drinking wine, sipping on some syrup. But again, I could be wrong. So let's continue. See, there you go. She been using it religiously. Come on now. You ain't say nothing about, I take a bath every day. You just throwing deodorant on top of funk. Make that make sense. And everybody know that when you young and you start getting deodorant, your underarms start stinking, what it smell like? Some damn French fries. I ain't smelled one that don't smell like French fries yet when they're young. Now when we old, we see it when we go out. We know the cultures that don't use deodorant. It's just a built up aura of just must and funk. It's a whole mixture, sweat, all that mixed in. So at some point, like was mentioned in the chat, folk, take your ass, sit in some water as hot as you can take it, and to where when you lay down in the tub, the water come up to your neck. And you splash it around, and you get it up in your pits and your tight spots, and you let it, you know what I'm saying, let that water get in there and marinate. Just like when you soaking dishes. That's how you have to do your body sometimes. And people say, oh, that's dirty water. Well, if you that damn dirty, you got problems. And then one thing you can do after you soak for 30 minutes and your fingers wrinkle and your toes start wrinkling up, take a quick shower. Rinse it all off. Exfoliate your skin while you wash it. Because a lot of us have skin cells that need to be taken off our skin. But again, I could be wrong. Consult your medical professionals. Looney, I have never seen anybody black with this product. I see the white people on TV with it. Yeah, this is my product bag. Look who buying it. The musty people. So let's continue. So y'all heard that, right? Don't piss her off. Go get you some. Let's go get some. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the final thing today, which is a really big thing that I thought was interesting. And I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. You know, and I'll just click. Let me get to the... here we go. So this right here is called the Platinum Plan from Donald Trump. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this right here. So it's just opportunities for African Americans. That's all it is. Opportunities that are going to be afforded to African Americans. And yes, everybody's in an uproar because I look at America as a business, right? And any major corporation, Fortune 500 company, any S&P, any major company, it ain't got to be a Fortune 500. They have 200 or 300 people, employees. Then, yeah, there you go. She's wrong for pulling that out, ain't she? Now, you talking about some trauma? Yeah, that could be traumatized into a kid. But here we are. This is where we are. So, excuse me. This Platinum Plan is very unique. Now, like I said, I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, what's going to be coming down the pike in a few months. Because as any business that has a CEO, this is true, you can look it up. Any business that has a CEO, anytime that business changes CEOs, let's just say you invested in, I would say, sneakers, right? You got stock in sneakers. Just an example. You know the stocks that are out there, whether it's Nike, Elon Musk stock, all of this, right? Tesla, so anytime there's a CEO, anytime that CEO changes, that stock level is automatically going to drop into the next quarter or 2 quarters. Always. That's why financially it's in 4 quarters. We go by 4 quarters, and the next major quarter is June 1st, June 31st, June 1st. What else? I forget. Sometimes I forget. It's either June 1st or June 30th. I think it's June 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens is those stocks drop, and they may be on a decline into the next quarter, because what they don't know is this new CEO coming in, he may not have I guess his plan may or may not be as successful as the CEO that's leaving. So people get worried, so they pull, the stock drops. They sell off their stock, and that's all it is. And that's the best time to buy stock. When you see a stock drop, you may want to grab you $200 or $300 of that stock. Maybe it depends on the price. You know what I'm saying? Anything under $10, you might want to get $200 worth, and just hold on to it. You may not make no money for the first quarter, for the first 2 quarters, especially if the CEO. If you know the CEO's change, know that you're gonna not make any money. That's what you gotta know. Know, like I would always look to the company that you're gonna invest in. See when the CEO came into power. If it was a month or two ago, yeah, he might be there for a while. So the stock may drop. It may seem like it's low. Oh yeah, because it's low. It ain't gonna make no money. And then after that first quarter and they doing great business, the stock will go up. Boop. It'll just jump on you like, ooh. And then you just take out what, and some pay every quarter, some pay weekly, bi-weekly. It depends on the stock and the company. You got to check and see when they pay out. So when the CEO changes, stock drop. That's why when we saw when President Trump got in office, the stock dropped. He's new. Now you're seeing everybody nervous, like, oh, they're giving out all these, especially Democrats, oh, the country's in disarray. Now you got these tariffs, you're seeing a lot of everybody gets nervous. But you see how just yesterday the stock went back up. One of the highest jumps in, the last few years. Elon Musk stock hit a drop a couple of weeks ago, about $200 a share. Maybe, I think a little more. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. Then I saw on the news, a man said 2 days before I saw it. Well, I saw it one day. He said, guess what? Everybody's, uproar. His stock is dropping. When he started pulling, coming with these changes in the government and going in all these different little sectors of government, finding money, right? His stock dropped. A man said specifically, if y'all think his stock is going to stay that cheap forever, the cheapest ever been, y'all fools. If you don't buy you some stock, you're going to wish you had. So I said, let me go look at Elon Musk Tesla stock, right? It was like 220 something, 220. Look at the stock now. Elevated, look at this. Could you look at the stock and see what that Tesla stock is worth now? I'm telling you. Just in that short period of time, it's jumped. So this is matter if you had $5,000, you put in $5,000. Your stock, you'll be sitting on a couple of $1,000s right now. And I'm using Tesla as an example because it's one of those stocks that you've seen, they talked about, they showed it like, it's cheap. People were scared because they was panicking, like people do, people that don't understand stock. And now it's probably at the highest it's ever been in less than a month. What you say? Prada just bought Versace. I seen there. Yes. So now you may see a shift in the stock prices. That's the best time to buy. And hold on to that because once Prada implements Versace into its fragrance line, it's going to blow up. You're going to be like, wow, I'm glad I did that. You said Tesla stock is blowing up? Yep. What is it? 248? Yep, 248. Yeah, that's it. It's blowing up. That's per stock. So, yeah, shit. $500, you only got 2 stock. So you need about $5,000 for that. But again, and it's just not Tesla, it's just one of those major ones. But even these startup companies, these startups and everything now, if you can go into like these new startup tech companies, listen, there's programs on TV that come through that may be talking about this. Let me see, it's 248, yep. Number 11 probably should be number 1, yep. When you get older, I can't see that. I don't know why I can't see the bottom until. But yeah, it's just part of the process, So don't get, antsy when you see stock change. Because they pay out every quarter. And since we got a new president, because America's a business for real. Some people say it ain't, but it is. You saw the stock drop. You saw the Dow Jones drop. But now, you're starting to see it climb back up. Just, what was that? I think Tuesday? Boom. Boosted. So you have to allow these things to man itself out by the quarter. By the quarter. Just be mindful of that. By the quarter. I would do the research. Oh, this company just got a new CEO. Stock is going to be low. Let me go and get a few. Cool. Let it just sit over her like it's just like money in the bank. Just let it sit. And then when that quarter come, they might pay you a nice little check because it's going to change. It's going to change. But again, it's all about how you understand it. It's all about how you do it. And listen, I played in the stock as far as the time frame from like 2005. It was like 2005. I just went to Chicago. And I'm not going to reveal the company, but I had a couple. I had like $3,000, so I was like, I need to do something with this, and I put it in, bought me some stock, let it sit. I don't know. Somebody was doing something. Somebody pulled a Martha Stewart, and it blew up. I cashed out. And here I am today, sleeping at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. I actually got out of bed about, before I did this live, about it was close to 8 o'clock, I ain't gonna lie. Because I'd been up, but then I lay back down, fell asleep for about 45 minutes to an hour, and came down here. But yeah, so stock it seems scary. You report, especially, you can't hide it from the eyes. You report. What it is. They're gonna tax it, but still. All right, if I get $20,000 and they tax it and take 4 to 5, that's $15,000 I didn't have at first. In my pocket. You don't necessarily have to take it all, but you can use it to pay taxes, buy yourself a new car, remodel your house, buy a house. But a lot of people, just don't do their research. And one of the best pieces of advice that was given to me that I give, do the research, see when the CEO got there. If they on their way out, request those dividends and just stay at the basic level of the stock. Because the stock is going to drop. It's going to drop. But then the new CEO come in next quarter. If business is still thriving, like Elevator just said, Prada just bought Versace. It's going to be a shift. You're going to see it drop because people are, But then over the next quarter, they're going to come out with their findings. Then you're going to be back in the game. And look for your checks. So, like I said, some pay, depends, weekly. Most pay through quarter system, so. Yeah, you might get your little check a couple of weeks, it's planning your little vacation and stuff. I wouldn't plan the vacation until I know I'm going to get some of that money. And you don't necessarily have to go through a broker either. That's just, cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman, I'm telling you, because a broker going to get a nice percentage of it. And he got 4, 5, 10 clients, so he's good. Yeah, so just don't be afraid to, do your research, like I said, and when you see a new person come in, it's going to go, so. Again, so now to Platinum Plan, President Trump's pillars. This is just a plan that he's implementing. I don't think people know about this yet. And yes, so when I provide this information, then you may want to do your research again and start seeing if you have a LLC, if you want to start a business, something to get out here and make a change for yourself, just a community, there's going to be monies allocated for that process. Just make sure your credit is good. Now, we going in there with no 450 credit talking about, hey, no. And I ain't talking about necessarily money that you have to go back or pay back in. A lot of them will come in grants. Just when you get a grant, you keep every receipt from bubblegum to the computers. Every receipt. You keep every receipt and write it down. You can write it down in a ledger. You get a receipt, you purchase something, staple that receipt to it. Hey, $8.42 for this. You go to lunch with a client, $10 you keep every receipt. Pencils. I bought a pencil today. It was 42 cents. Because what they do is they also know how much money they give you and they want to see how that money's spent. And if you don't have no receipts, guess what? You don't get the grant anymore and they probably make you pay some of it back. So just be cognizant of that. So the Platinum Plan, President Trump's pillars. Opportunity. By achieving historic employment levels of Black Americans as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses, President Trump has been committed to ensuring all black Americans can achieve the American dream. Yes. Just open opportunities for business. That's all. If you have a business already, look into it in your state, your city, your whatever, your government, to see what monies are allocated for certain things. Security. By signing into law the celebrated First Step Act, President Trump has brought common sense criminal justice reform to the American people for the first time in decades, while ensuring that our streets and communities are safe for families and business owners. Yes, I'm all with that. Let the kids play outside, goddammit. Let them be outside. Don't nobody go outside no more. You go in people's houses and look like a dungeon in there. Curtains drawn, no windows open, it smell like feet, ass, toenails, weed, Black and Milds, liquor, everything. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I believe everyone should be protected in their communities. Everybody. You should be able to go outside and walk your dog and let your kids ride. They learn how to ride a bike. Yeah, so I'm all with that. Prosperity. As the first president to provide long-term funding to historically black colleges, that's not true though. He's not. That's been happening. There's always monies allocated prior to each president. They vote this money. This money is already set aside. So the only thing he's just doing, coming in, taking pictures. That's it. That's what people do anyway. He's no different from anywhere from, I don't know, Lyndon B. Johnson to Barack Obama. When they go pass out the money to the big dogs, they show up and they motorcade and they taking pictures to make it look good. That's what they do. In Pullman National Monument up in Chicago, it's one of the latest monuments ever. And President Obama christened that the Pullman National Monument. If you don't know about their story, it's a very unique story. It's a very unique story. So I would definitely advise anybody to go read up on the Pullman Porters. They created the first black labor union in America in the 1930s. A. Philip Randolph was the president, and he was a very unique figure that doesn't get credit. He was selected originally to give the speech that Dr. King gave on Washington, but he understood the magnitude of the event and he passed the speech on to Dr. King. You know, you would never know that. But I worked at Pullman National Monument. I lived in Pullman National Monument. I bought property. I still had that property. I was just there 2 weeks ago in Chicago. And that property, especially the block that I'm on, is sort of like on the outside, but it's okay. So here's my street, here's the adjoining street. It's a cross section, but where I live, it's in a unique spot, and it's part of the map of the historic monument. So if you was to go there and say I want a tour, they'll give you a map and you can walk around the neighborhood and see the property that I own. They went in there, they revitalized it. It was a 2-bedroom townhome. Well, townhome, not condo. Large bedrooms, large. The first floor was large living room, one bathroom on the first floor, large kitchen. I think it had like 22 cabinet doors, a full basement, and a backyard with a carport in the back. The daggone air conditioner was probably 3 feet by 3 feet wide. That's how big it was. It stood like 3.5 feet tall. That's how big the air conditioner was for a unit. Then it had upstairs, had 2 large bedrooms, one in the front, one in the back, and a full bathroom. And that was it. And that property was $77,000. So the mortgage was like $418. That's it. And now that I've been had a tenant there since I moved out in 20. I lived there 5 years, and then I got a tenant there. And so it's been a great source of income for me. So and I don't even use that money. I just put it in the bank and it just sits there. It's been 2019 now that the tenant's been there, and I was just up there taking care of a few things. Of course, tenants, they get in there and just treat it like I don't know what they be doing, but I can fix stuff, so I don't mind going there and doing it, take care of it. So yeah, and I just appreciate that, just having the opportunity. I took advantage of that opportunity. Like I said, who can beat a $400 mortgage? Nobody. So yeah, just be cognizant of opportunities around you in your neighborhood. I don't know if other states do it, but I do know that Chicago, every year or so, like unused properties, they auction them off for $1. And there was a property at the other end of not the other end of my street, but at that cross street going up the block, it was a lot, nice lot. And I put in my bid for it, and I won it. It was $1. I was like, yeah, I only paid $1 for it. Only thing I do is pay taxes. And me being a veteran, and especially a disabled veteran, over a certain percentage, you don't pay property taxes. So it's basically free. So, yeah. But, again, there are opportunities that are going to be coming out. I just hope people take advantage of them. Don't be afraid. Take advantage of it. Do your research to make sure you follow those steps to secure those funds. And definitely keep receipts on everything. Everything. That's where they kid you caught up at. And use up all the funds. Don't be talking about, I'm saving $60,000. No, because next time when they allocate it, they going to give you $60,000 less. Because they'll be like, you didn't need this $60,000. No, use it for everything. Use it for everything. Listen, the best way to use it, one, is to take field trips. Take field trips. Get permission slip signed, get consent form signed, photo consent form signed, so you can take pictures of everything. You can post it on your Facebook. You can post it on your YouTube page. And you have little sessions and have meetings where people come in and y'all talking. And you can buy snacks and food and have things like that. But just keep all your receipts. That's the biggest thing. Keep all your receipts. If you ever know somebody had a grant before and they lost it, guess what? They can keep their receipts. I don't care if you keep them in a damn shoebox. Keep all your receipts. So, but yeah, that's just me. Prosperity at the first, Black College and fairness has demonstrated through his actions to initiate investment into opportunity zones, as well as address health disparities, wage gaps, and necessary education reform. President Trump works every day to advance fair and just America for Black community. We'll see. Like I said, people are scared. 80% of us voted for Kamala Harris. Not a lot of us voted for Trump. You hear it on YouTube. Oh, man, he's doing us a disservice because he's doing something that in my lifetime, and salute to Brother Payne, I think in his lifetime, he's a few years older than me, that we never seen before. We never seen a president go into the government and just dismantle spending like that. We never seen that. No. Our governments have been giving us what? LGBTQ, high prison rates, high single parent rates, high unemployment rates. That's all we've been getting. And this new stuff, I'll take it. What it say? I was behind, caught up now with the platinum plan. Okay, our plan, I appreciate it. Castle Soup is a good one as well. Yes, so platinum soup is a good investment opportunity. Yes. Hoarders, yeah, my grandma was into stock. Yeah, see, look, your grandmama's into stock. Elevated Mount Hill, you better catch up with your grandmama. Give her a couple of hundred, a couple of little dollars and say grandmama invested. Now you see her traveling everywhere. She probably all over the country. See, there you go. Yeah, I'm okay, gonna, keep that in mind. Grants, I've been thinking, yeah, go ahead and do it. Only thing I do is write out a business plan. I can show you the outline for a business plan. They want to look at the biggest thing they look at is your financial growth. Hell, you can do like they do. You can make some shit up on that. Okay, this year we're gonna need $300,000. Over the next 3 to 5 years, it might be $800,000. How you gonna do it? Now I'm gonna be doing it by this, reaching out to engaging more people and more clients. That's it. You just need a business plan. And a lot of people don't. That's what they don't understand. You gotta have that business plan. There's a whole outline document of steps you got to put information in there. What's your target audience? How long you're going to be targeting your audience? What type of engagement you're going to be doing? Pretty much military style. You're going to be teaching, and then you're going to be implementing. So there's going to be a classroom portion. Not saying it's in a classroom, but there's going to be a teaching classroom portion. Then there's going to be a practice of it. When they leave out of there, they're going to practice it, and when they come back, they got to report on what they practiced. What was the good outcome? What was the bad outcomes? That's how you got to do it. That's all. Yeah, just get you a business plan, and you can type in business plan. You'll see different ones for different type of business. It ain't so much the information. You can just dismiss that information and put your own information in there. I think it's about 5 pages, 6 pages, maybe longer, maybe shorter. Depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah, so don't be afraid. This is a great opportunity. So let's move on. So I like this one right here. Let me move this over so we can get a better view of it. Yeah, so let's see. President Trump's promise to Black America over 4 years. See, there we go. There we go. If he's putting it on paper, now we got something to hold him to. It ain't like we say in our community, the word of mouth. No, he's putting it on paper. So now you can take a snapshot, take this, and say, hey, man, you promised us $500 billion. Increase access to capital in Black communities by almost $500 billion. I know I can get a couple 100,000 of that. Elevated, I know you can get about, I would say keep it about 200,000, no less than that, about 200,000. If you can engage about 50 people, I wouldn't go, it depends on what age. If you want to go with the youth, I wouldn't recommend nothing lower than the 6th grade. Because other than that, they too young to even focus and comprehend. All their ADHD will be showing. So 6th grade. 6th grades are difficult. A lot of them are playful. But maybe 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, that's always a good age. 9th grade, 10th grade, through high school, college, all those are good ages. So just go down the list. 3 million new jobs for the Black community. Yeah, we need that. We got some of the highest unemployment rates as Black men. Some states is double-digit numbers. Creating 500,000 new Black-owned businesses. There you go, Elevated. You can get you one. You only need one of them. 500,000. Let's go. And listen, I'm old. I'm out of the work game. My brother I pay, we ain't going back to work. But y'all young people, great opportunity. Great opportunity. Increase access to capital in Black communities by almost $500 billion. Yeah, that means there's going to be monies allocated. Safe urban neighborhoods with highest policing standards. And this is where I guess I'm a little in my crosshairs about policing. We complain a lot about police brutality in our community. Why don't young men go ahead and join the police force in your community? Why don't they do that? Because now, guess what? I know Nug ain't gonna get shot. Because I ain't gonna shoot him. I know he might not go to jail the first time I see him doing some dumb shit. Because guess what I can do? I can pull up on and say, hey, man, let me holler at you. Stop that shit, man. You doing it right here on the street corner, man. Get out of here. Go home, man. I went to school with your damn mama and your daddy. So you can have those conversations. You can start a little basketball program in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that they need to have some engagement. Just opportunities. But that's just me. When it comes to policing, we can't say it's police crime, they killing us and da-da-da, but then we let Nug and Lil Tony fight it out and shoot up everybody. Hit the kids, hit your little brother, little sister, hit the innocent bystander, your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? We don't say nothing. Now there ain't no snitching. What? Makes no sense to me. I'm the last one to need to see somebody taking somebody out. I'm the last one. I don't need to see it. Because I'm going to wait a few days when it all died down, and I'm going to slide over and be like, man, listen, man, what's the reward for this? Yeah. I'm just an anonymous person. You said the reward was 50,000? Well, let me tell you, man, Elevated Mindhealer did it. She did it. Yeah. That's all right here. The light skin one in the blue dress. That's all right there. She did it. But don't sell nobody else at it. And I'm going to take my little money and I'm going to move on out of the neighborhood. Complaining, talking about I can't pay this rent no more. With my 50,000 in the bank. But that's just me though. I ain't got time for no mess. Like I said, I like the kids to be outside. I was an outside kid. I can't deal with it. When I go to sleep at night, I don't want to hear nobody gunshots. I don't want to hear no crazy music. That's just me. I could be wrong, but it is what it is. So, commit to working on second stepped act. Yeah, people need the opportunity when they come out here. We say, yep, I just need one, yep. Yeah, so, yeah, people need to be able to have opportunities. There was a time when, when guys went to prison when I was younger, they used to come out with bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. I have a best friend, he got 3 felonies. 3. With an escape charge. This dude escaped for, 11 months. Matter of fact, he was on home incarceration. He took the watch band off and was running around for 11 months. And when they caught up with him, I think he served less than 3 months. 3 felonies. He didn't have no violent felonies, but he had 3 felonies. He ended up being the manager of the city that locked him up. So when I hear these people talking about all this, man, get tired of that shit. Stop it. It's about what you do. It's about how you make it. So, it is what it is, but there's going to be opportunities allocated for people to create their life in a greater capacity. Access to better education and job training opportunities. See, Elevate, I think you said this earlier about the trades. People have to be willing to get in position to get these trade skills, get these jobs. When you go to the job, don't be talking about it ain't your job. Just do the job to the best of your ability. And sometimes, this is what I know. Sometimes you can get the training and use it to create your own with the training that was provided. So that's how you gotta look at it. But I could be wrong again. Give black churches the ability to compete for federal resources. See, this is what I don't like. This black churches thing. Black churches already now get monies allocated through some cities. And who's the black church give money to? I'll wait. Nobody. Because half of them niggas in that church is poor. Half of them ain't even working. But they go to that church, and the church ain't even providing them with opportunities that was allowed through the state to them. See, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. But again, there's money for it. You can go to any church right now, and all of them got a building fund. And tell me what building they ain't even fixed up the church. They ain't even went to fix up the church. You can go some church, you see you look up in the city and be like, damn, what's going on here? They got plenty of funds though. We give millions of dollars to churches every Sunday and go home to your broken down house, your car that ain't even started in 2 years, and the pastor just drove past your whole neighborhood in his new 2025 electronic car. He ain't even driving it no more. He just sitting back. Make it make sense to me. Yeah, it's just me. I don't need nobody to read to me what I can read for myself. Because that same pastor come over and rub on your legs and try to get you to give him some when you call him. But I could be wrong again. So bring better and tailored health care to address historic disparities. Yes, we need health care. And back to what I was saying, you young, I don't care. If you got something that ain't looking right, don't feel right, go to the doctor. Take your ass to the doctor. Your family needs you to be here. There's no time to be selfish when your ass is sick. And I know people like, oh, they did something to, they ain't do it to your ass. You wasn't around to do the Tuskegee experiment. You wasn't around. And if you feel that nervous, go to a black doctor. Go to East Indian doctor. I had an East Indian doctor. This dude was crazy. I told him one time, I said, man, it was, I don't know if it was, he said, it was my back. Yeah, he was like, man, you know what? He said, you know what you need? I said, what you need? He said, you need good sex. Huh? He said, yes, lots of sex. You married, right? Yeah. Tell wife I said good sex kills a lot. And guess what? Good wife, sex kills a lot. You don't believe me? Come on, let's go to the doctor. And guess what? My back ain't been as bad. It's still, you know what I'm saying, it ain't been as bad. Them little ailments I used to have, they ain't really having them no more. And this was like before COVID, 2017, 18, 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there. But yeah, I ain't had those problems like that. But again, I could be wrong. Immigration policy that protects American jobs. See, this is where we are today. This is where we are right now. You've seen a lot of immigrants being sort of policed and taken out of certain positions. But again, I'm with America first. I'm with America first. I am with America first. You know, America first, yeah. I want to see my young brothers and sisters out here working, building houses, paving the road. I want to see that. Creating businesses for themselves with good business plans and following good business practice, good business ethics. Don't get into business to cheat people. Don't do that. Because then you're just being selfish and you're saying F them kids because now the kids going to suffer. But definitely get into good business. And I'm with that all day. I served in the military. Hell, I want a job. I went to college. Hell, I want a job. That's what we all want. We want to all be able to take care of our families. So yeah, if he's going to provide opportunities for people of color, let's do it. Let's do it. Advance home ownership opportunities and enhance financial literacy in the black community. Ooh, we all smart with money, ain't we? We all $100,000 on YouTube. Don't everybody make $100,000 or more, 80 or more? Don't we all do that? But the numbers say it don't. But the numbers say it don't. But we all millionaires, $100,000. We all got that bag. Here, there, where I go. But then you ask them what they do. You don't really, I don't never hear what people say they do. Because there's only certain, look, I can show you the BLS. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics. They'll tell you what everybody make. And they'll tell you what the projections are. So, yeah, you can tell me whatever. But the BLS is going to let you know what you really make it in your area, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your zip code. So, yeah, if anybody tell you they making this, just go to the BLS. You can look it up on your phone. I think I got it up here. I'll show it. Show a little bit of what I did, and it'll show the breakdown. So, yeah, just be mindful of that. But on YouTube, everybody's rich, which is amazing. But, again, maybe it's just me. So, immigration policy that, okay, let me see, advanced home ownership, yeah, you know. And that's what we need. People need to be able to own homes. Especially maybe 30-something, you know, you want to be able to purchase a home and not be overcharged for the home. But it also depends on your credit score. So we blow our credit early. And that's because a lot of us don't have financial literacy. You know, think about things that you purchase. Do you need it or do you want it? Are you in a position to where you can want it and not have to sacrifice something else to get it? Ever since I was young, anytime I go shopping, if I like it, the first thing I ask, man, how much is this? I don't care about all the bells and whistles and what it do, if it flips and flops and shines. I don't care about that shit. How much is it? Because I know what I'm going to spend and what I ain't going to spend. That's me. And I ain't never been without since I had that method. I say this all the time. Me and my wife live off $15 a day a piece. She got her 15, I got my 15. That's it. Everything else is good. I ain't worried about that. I'm just talking about the money that I'm going to use to run out here and buy me some shit I shouldn't be buying. I got $15 for that day. And the unique thing about it is, which is for me, this is how I am. Well, it's her too, because she said back, she's like, hell, I ain't spent no money in 3 weeks. But then you got $15 added up for 3 weeks. And even then, she's thinking, ooh, I ain't going to spend all this. And believe me, we get everything we want. We got too much stuff. I am a shopaholic, folk. I shop a lot. I buy clothes. I buy shoes. And with these big wide footses, not feet, but footses, I can only wear leather. That patent leather, no, my foot will bust out of it. The quality ain't as like it used to be as far as leather. You find this little cheap made leather now. But again, that's what they make overseas in other countries now. They've gotten away from the quality of things. What is that? It's a good workout. I need a business advisor. Yeah, rich, inspired. Yeah, the budget and my money, and I can. Yeah, you budget your money, things can happen. You know, sometimes give yourself a day or two. If it's there when you go back, it may be for you. Let me get some water. Hold on. So yeah, so he got a plan for advanced home ownership and literacy programs. I think that would be definitely a benefit. And see, Elevate My Health, just think about it. Just a business opportunity. You can be the one providing that financial literacy to communities. And I don't know how many communities in your state or whatever. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. You and maybe two other people. You can get you a company car through leasing. That way you don't have to worry about all the maintenance of it. Through leasing, you just get you a fuel card. You go from one end of the state to the other, pulling up on schools, maybe some universities, some community programs, just providing financial literacy. Boom, that's it. 2 or 3 hours of that. Giving maybe some stock tips on how to invest. You know, just not in full detail outside of your realm of knowledge, but yeah, it's great opportunities. So last one with this, onshoring manufacturing to advance jobs and develop opportunities for black-owned businesses. Onshoring manufacturing, yeah. See, we don't make stuff in our community. We buy stuff and use it. And we mainly provide services, but we don't make stuff. I think that's one of the biggest things that we can probably leapfrog in. Being able to manufacture your own product. That's where you gain the wealth, in manufacturing your product. And now, what is 250 million people? Let's just say you manufacture the product and you charge $1 and 30 million people buy that product. $30 million, maybe it costs $3 to make or 50 cents to make. You put back the 50 cents to remake it, $15 million, then you just double it every year, triple it. So, you know, that's the way you got to look at certain things, especially when you in business. The first 5 years, everything you make, you put back into your business. You pay yourself a salary, and you don't have to pay yourself no $60,000 salary. You pay yourself a salary, but again, you can use a lot of the resources for the business to do business, where you're not spending your own salary money. But again, I could be wrong. So, just moving on a little bit, let me just go down to the bottom. And it sort of breaks it down. Black economic empowerment to access to capital. Jobs. Reach even greater levels of historical employment and wage growth for the black community set in 2019. See, it's things that have been set, but it's not really been implemented. So that everyone looking for a job gets one. Yes, everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to work. Seek infrastructure funding that will lead to widespread growth in an annual $500 billion federal contracting opportunities. Now, this is big for people who want to, in the hands-on business, plumbing, construction, electrical work, also, what is it called, when you drive a truck, truck driving and, you know, over the road driving, hauling, see those things. You can create your own, you can buy your own truck. You know what I'm saying? There's a website that I go to all the time where they selling everything from diesel trucks to flatbeds to trailers, all of that for dirt. You bid on it. Some of that stuff be $5,000-$10,000 for a diesel truck. You look at a diesel truck's every bit of 80 to 100,000 or more, just for the truck, just the engine part, the front part. I think that, you know, a brand new one that costs you 150, maybe more. Now the inflation's, you know, different, but yeah. So there's opportunities out there. People just can't be afraid. grow minority-owned businesses with additional tax cuts to stimulate hiring and investment. See, you have a business, you can hire people, get some tax cuts. Yeah. Encouraging onshoring and development for domestic manufacturing to decrease supply chain businesses development and employment. Yeah. See, if you can make it, then you can ship it out, transport it, get it to the people, make money. Examine barriers to employment, including fees, occupational licensing, arrest records, inaccuracy, and expungement. Yes, a lot of people have records that can't get into those opportunities because of their past. And if they can get those things expunged, then they're able to erase it from, it don't goes away, but it won't show up in a background check. Yeah, a lot of people have been wrongfully accused. Get those things wiped off. But our pain say this is where the tariff come into ultimate bring back manufacturing to to the U.S. and modern technology. Yeah, that's true, our pain. That's what I'm saying. See, we get so caught up in what's happening and not looking at the bigger picture. But sometimes we just have to be patient, which a lot of us are not. And this is new to a lot of us. We've never seen this level of government reshifting, rebranding. Never seen this. So, yeah, it's nerve-wracking. We are programmed to be Democrats. We're programmed that way. So, let me see. Increase activity and opportunity zones, including benefits for local hires. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want. You want to be able to have money allocated to your community so you can hire locally. Even you can create a, what is it called? Neighborhood beautification program where you and maybe you can hire teenagers in the summer to go around cleaning up the community. That's a couple $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Maybe $500,000, $600,000 to $1 million. And that way you can also pay your employees, $10, $11 an hour, especially teenagers, 14, 15 years old. They own that. They can get a waiver to work at 14 through the school. And they can work and make $10, $12 an hour for about 6-8 weeks, while they're out of school. So they can buy their own little, products that they need. But again, not a lot of people are willing to go into those lanes of employment or just creating opportunities for themselves. So let me see. Invest almost $20 billion toward broadband and internet access to create job opportunities and improve classroom connectivity and ability to utilize telehealth services. Yeah, that's a big thing because the VA uses a lot of telehealth. I do a lot of video conferencing with all kinds of medical people through the VA, and they'll just send me a link and we just be talking face to face. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Even in tech, see what I'm saying? If you want to start a tech company, there's money allocated for that. But again, the business plan is the big thing. A lot of people don't understand that. They say they come up with these ideas in their head and they don't put it down. They go try to get a loan. No, they ain't gonna get no loan because the bank is looking at the business plan. That's the quickest way to get your money. But I could be wrong. But if you don't believe me, try it out. Better and cheaper healthcare. Yes, affordable healthcare you can trust. People trust it. Yeah, some people do, some people don't. I would say if you sort of skeptical about who your doctors are, just find you somebody black. Just find somebody black. And more than likely, they may be African or a woman. There's some out there. Like I said, there's some good doctors, but you have to do your research. You might have to go to the other side of town, but is your life worth it? Is your kid's life worth it? It's up to you. Reduce costs and improve access to quality health care through HRSA. What was it? Human Resources, I think something like that. I forget the essay. I had it, I wrote it down, but I lost it. So bear with me right there. Yeah. Improve the costs. We all know healthcare is one of the biggest takers of our income, especially if you got a family. Shoot, healthcare for a family at a job can cost you $300-$400 a paycheck. Hell, that's worse than paying child support, because you may not ever get sick at that job, but it took thousands of dollars from you that you won't get it back, but just part of it. Deliver real price transparency so you know the cost before care is received. Yeah, that's why I say I like to ask what the price is. So it applies to healthcare too. Yeah, you want to know what those prices are. You want to know what those prices are. What'd you say, Elevated Man? Say, I can't read it. Say, what about a community? I can't see what that bottom. I don't know why I can't see what the bottom say. That's crazy. Mm. Yeah, I don't know what that bottom said. I'm sorry, Elevate. Uh, Opportunity to be in charge of your own health care and choose your own doctor. Yeah, I like that because there's a lot of opportunities out there to choose your own doctor. Eliminate long-standing healthcare disparities. Yes, a lot of times we don't get the correct treatments. A lot of times we don't know how to discuss our treatments and our needs to our doctor. I say write those things down before you go to the doctor so you won't forget them. And if anything, if you can't remember, at least you can give that list to the doctor and they can read and tell them to read it out to you so you can ensure that they're looking at everything. That's all. Investments into cause and cures of kidney disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, sickle cell disease, maternity mortality, and other diseases that disparagingly affect African American population. Yeah, we did. Hey, these are things that affect us all. Yeah, we have some of the highest disparaging numbers regarding it. So again, health is wealth. I'm with that. Increase access to telemedicine and innovate technologies to empower patients with flexibility and tools for better health. Yes. See, that telehealth allows you to be in your car, allows you to be out with your family and still be seen by a doctor, get the appropriate questions answered, allows you to ask certain questions, get your prescriptions filled, things like that. You know, unless you need a specialty care, meaning MRI, X-ray, stuff like that. So, yeah, it just eliminates time that you would waste going to the doctor, taking the day off, all of that. You can work, set your appointments up for your work, for your lunch time or something, to maybe take an extra 15 minutes of lunch, because most of them last about 45 minutes to an hour. So if you have that, let your job know, hey, I have a doctor's appointment, but it's telehealth. I just need the extra 10, 15 minutes. Most of the time, they'll let you do it. You know, so as long as you ain't doing it every Tuesday, you know. But yeah, as long as if you do it once or twice, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, they wouldn't have a problem. Yeah, increase access. Okay, I read that. Public-private partnerships to develop healthcare facilities in low-income areas. Yeah, you want to have those facilities within reach, within your own community, your own neighborhood. You don't want to have to go too far to get those. To have access to those doctors. So yeah, it's very unique to have. Fueling access to capital for black-owned businesses. Yeah, there you go. Increase opportunity for small businesses. Lending and okay, so let me go start back. Increase opportunities for small business lending and technical assistance through community development financial institutions. In order to grow business and create governmental wealth opportunities with over $400 billion in funding. Yeah, see, the money's going to be allocated, just up to you to take advantage of it. Examine alternative ways to build credit, including rent, utilities, and phone bills. Yeah, see, to build credit. So when you pay your rent on time, boom, building credit. I think Experian has something like that. Your utilities, stuff like that, your phone bills, you pay them on time, it builds your credit. So it's good if you pay your bills on time, get it out the way. Don't overspend. A lot of people spend their money on what they want and beg for what they need. Don't come to me begging for something you need, because I ain't got it. I ain't giving it to you, because I'm going to ask you 21 questions. What happened to your damn money? I don't want to hear about, well, you know, we went to Vegas and well, then you good. Should have stayed in Vegas and try to, you know, do us a little something strange for a piece of change. Other than that, I'm not the one. Okay, so what does it say? Make the Minority Business Development Agency permanent. So, because that's a agency, the Minority Business Agent Permanency, appoint its leader to the Assistant Secretary of Commerce level, create a sub-office of African American Affairs, and engage with the private sector advisors to ensure real-world plans and solutions. See, they're going to sort of have a checks and balance system with that, because the Minority Business Development Agency, that it's not permanent, so they come and go. So if it becomes permanent, then they're going to have someone that they report to but also it's going to be allow for you going to be privy to what's going on and not just getting what they push out. You're going to be able to know exactly what's going on. So, yeah, what about the community garden? Yeah, that's cool, but the only thing about community garden, you have to really be attentive in going out there every day, make sure everything is watered, make sure your weeds are not coming up, making sure your dirt and soil is healthy. People cutting, black folk, they gonna track through it. If ain't no fence up, ain't no gate up, this is the shortcut that we've been going to every day, we going this way. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? But if you can get that, if a section where it's fenced off, maybe where old house is, get a fence erected, maybe a iron gate fence or just a 6 foot tall fence with some barbed wire on it, I would go to the extreme and give those that occupy the space a key, or make it a combination, like a digital combination that's weather protected. Yeah, it could probably work. But if you looking at taking over a space where the kids play, you could probably get some pushback. And if you put it there, despite the pushback, then your kids, they go pull up every little plant that you plant. You know it's gonna be some problems. So just be mindful of that. A farmer's market, yeah. See what I'm saying? Those opportunities would be available, and they're great opportunities, but location is everything when you start stuff like it. Location. And elevated. Make sure your ground is elevated, like your name. You don't want to I tell you, like, if you find a place elevated, and you be like, this would be a good place, go by there when it's raining. After a big rain, go by there. And if it's just a puddle of water there, it's a bad place. Because that's all it's going to do. It's flood every time it rains. But if it has good drainage and, you can just see the dirt is just maybe a little wet or whatever, then yeah. But again, I would make sure that even with, say you get the resources for it, erect a fence, erect some cameras. Definitely a fence, some type of security to keep people from trespassing through it. And we know in our communities, people love to cut through yards. And they're not going to look at your nice, healthy plants and crop like you do. And if you don't protect it, you might not ever get a crop. So just be mindful of things like that. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea, for real. So let me see where increase the number of black-owned contracting businesses. Yep, that's a big thing. A lot of people don't get opportunity in the space to be contractors. Yep. Financial services entities. Yes. People are good with numbers and math. Yes. Start your own business, like financial literacy programs for people. Yes. And private equity investment funds through regulatory reform and up to $40 billion in government funding alongside traditional private investment. Yeah. I think these are good opportunities to sort of get a foot in, but it's going to take research to know exactly what you're doing. So when you go to request those funds for yourself, make sure you have a business name, make sure you have a assumed business certificate, meaning that you are approved to do business in your state. You can go down to your state buildings and find out about that information. Every state is a little different, but it's all the same. Before I started my business, I had to go through Chicago. It was like $60 at the time. I had to publish my business. I had to put it in the paper for 30 days, or 60 days. I think it was 60 days. And then I had to come back, and then they gave me a certificate to do business. And every year they give me a certificate. I actually got it up here from one of my old addresses. And I can still, like, say you move out of state, you can still have access to business in that state where you started the business. But yeah, it's opportunity there. Let me see. Advanced lending relationships with financial institutions particularly those businesses who weren't able to participate in the PPP. See, people got in trouble with the PPP. Now you got opportunity to make money through business loan opportunities. Yep, host senior executives from major financial institutions on a quarterly basis. Okay, so host senior executives. Something's in my eye. All right, host senior executives from major financial institutions on a quarterly basis to advance new and equitable lending programs for black communities. Yes, I believe in that. Yes, because people who are knowledgeable in the sector can also be able to provide information on others who may not be as knowledgeable to, may want to get their foot in the door. So it's a great opportunity. Safety and justice, safe streets, yes. Continue to make historic improvements in the criminal justice system through common sense actions like First Step Act, including increased use of drug rehabilitation versus drug incarceration. Yes, this is what they do to the low tier. Yeah, the poor people. They lock you up if you use drugs. They lock you up first. Whether you're going to spend time in jail, they just send you through that inconvenience. So yeah, it's important. And I would rather have some drug rehabilitation. What methods can be given to people so they can help get off of these drugs? Announce a national clemency program to unite families and invest in human potential, focusing on wrongful persecution and rehabilitation. Yes. Clemency. Yes, just like a pardon. You serve your time, you want to get out and be able to provide for your family, have opportunities. It used to be that way back in the day. I know some guys that went down, came out with a degree, making good money. See, they don't have those reentry programs anymore. They don't have them. So, it's definitely a time, like I said, and Elevate, I think you said it would definitely be helpful to the newer generation. Yeah, Elevate, you're in that new generation. That's part of you. You're right there. You know what I'm saying? This is for you. This is for you to look into whatever opportunities that may be around your local area. Talk to your aldermans, state representatives, because you can contact the state office. There are monies and grants your city that are allocated already that people don't tap into. And for us, we got to go looking for it. But I'm just trying to say, hey, take the appropriate steps. Do your homework, create your business plan, because if you walk in there with a business plan, they're going to take you serious. See, they're going to look at it and be like, okay, projections to make money, yeah. And you providing a service to the people. It's where you can definitely get your foot in the door. So let me read this again. Announce a national clemency program to unite families. Yes, you want to be with your family. Invest in human potential. See, potential. Focus on wrongful persecution and rehabilitation. We see that all the time. It's a big case now with the kids in high school. Is he going to be wrongfully persecuted? Maybe, maybe not. What he did, was it wrong? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how people are looking at it. I'm hearing both sides of it. Some people are with it, some people are not. And rehabilitation. When you get out, you want to be able to get out here and still provide for yourself and your family. You don't want to be going back inside. No. So just be mindful of those things. Restore safety to Americans. Great cities by working with police departments, community leaders, and mental health professionals to install the most responsive, professional, and accountable models of policing, including diversity training and accreditation standards. Yes, I'm with that. Diversity training, yes, we all are different. Hell, we need to have that to just black folk in it. Because what we talking about? Elevate, don't they be calling us light skinned? The light skins against the dark skins. Don't we do that? Yeah, we need some diversity training. Accountability models of policing. Yes, hold the police accountable if they do something wrong. They don't have to delete the man. Shoot him in his knee or something. He gonna fall to the ground. Get him in the old full Nelson, something. But you don't have to delete him because the other people get to walk away. You had two attempts on the president. Both of them guys got handcuffed and walked on. Walked to the police. So, again, young brothers, get out here and join the police force, man. Start off about 60 the first year, about 80 to 100 the next. Just think 5 of y'all, 6 of y'all join the police force. You think y'all gonna be running around deleting y'all cousins? No, I think not. Y'all can start programs within the communities. Basketball programs, football programs, any program to get the youth engaged. Y'all can do open game nights. Have a big screen, 100-inch screen, 200-inch screens. Have like a little tournament where kids is sitting outside playing with y'all, playing the videos against each other. Then you have rounds, levels of winning, first place, second place, third place. Let them know the first time somebody act out of pocket, we're going to deal with you. We're going to shut you down. We're going to get you up out of here. And we'll do it as long as y'all allow the kids to have free passage. Don't be out here acting stupid, making dumb decisions, letting your ADHD kick in. No. But, again, there's money allocated for things like this. And a lot of young people are just looking for opportunity to say that they can do it. So, again, I'm just rambling on. So, advanced second chance hiring to get rehabilitated citizens with a criminal record back on the job. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? These people need ideas. They need opportunities. Just because you did time in jail, yeah. If I sold 10 bags of weed and I got 2 years, I can't get a job when I get out. And what a lot of people don't know, that even with a felon, you can vote. With a felony, you can vote. Because guess what they don't have when you go to the voting booth? What they don't ask for is your criminal record. You can vote. So don't think you can't vote with a felony. You can have 10 felonies. You're going to walk in there with your state ID like me. They're going to look at it and be like, where you live at? Yeah, I live here. You're going to fill out a little card. You're going to give you the little list of shit. You go in there and check who you going to check, and they're going to put it in the scanner. Had nothing to do with your record. None of that shit asks you, do you have a police record? No. So stop listening to people say you can't vote as a felon. Yes, you can. Vote. Vote. Make the change. But again, I could be wrong. Just do your research. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you need good ideas, especially with the kids. Elevator Man here, I got so many good ideas with the kids that you wouldn't even believe me. But again, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, you can, yeah. Give you a wrench. Yeah, give you a wrench. Give our pain a wrench too. See, I'm new to the wrench thing. I'm just new to the wrench. I didn't even know that I can do it. Oh, our pain, you already got a wrench. So yeah, let me see. Hassan is up here because Hassan has been a very good supporter, so I definitely appreciate him, man. Oh, he's a moderator too. Yeah, he's already won. So yeah, and that's it. That's how I roll, Elevated. I didn't know I can do it. I just figured out how to get people richer. So I'm giving everybody a wrench who support it. So appreciate you. Yeah. So listen, man. There's opportunities out here. If it's a few more on my list, let me see. Let me see where I'm at with this. Hold on, give me a second. I just gotta. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm just gonna bring this opportunity. Yeah, give me a second. So in this more education opportunities, African Americans can choose federal, state, and local community partnerships to choose failing schools to replace with full school choice and education opportunities to put American parents back in control over their children's future. Now, see, this is a unique one right here. Because what they're trying to do, right, I know some states now have these charter schools, right? But the problem with the charter schools is they take federal funding from regular public schools and give them to the charter schools. One of the biggest issues with the charter schools is that it's the same kids that went to the public school going to the charter schools. And a charter school teacher doesn't have to be certified. You can have a college degree and you can go apply to be a charter school teacher, teach health, science. You're not certified. That's the thing. But the students are still going to be the same students that went to Poconoke High, Poconoke Middle School. And that's just the name I'm throwing out there, but that's just part of what it is. Increase children tax credits and provide great access to quality preschool. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Community is ideal to me. Yeah. And you know, I don't even know why I can't read that last line. That's crazy. I can only read it when I see a text, and it stopped showing up on my phone. Let me see. Oh man, let me see. Go back to that. Go back to the chat. Let's see if it shows up here. You know I support you. You give real advice. Well, I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate just you listening in. Like I said, I may not know everything, but the little stuff I do know, I'll put not what I know, but what I've done, my techniques on how to get it done up against anybody in the sector. I would do that. And when it comes to working with people, I put what I do up against anybody because I see my results. Because where I worked at, what they would do is it was maybe 50 of us, right? And every meeting we would have, like every 2 weeks, they would always show the numbers of they would break it down per school as students, because I could get up to 60 students to participate in what I was doing. 60 students. I would always get 60 or 70 students every time. And then they would break down to how many students are actually engaging in it, how many students are actually improving in it. And every time my name would be at the top 1 or 2. Sometimes it would switch as far as participants, as far as student engagement, student improvement, whether it was behavior, academics, tardiness, absenteeism, and parental engagement. Because I did parent workshops. I love doing the parent workshops. And mine was always at the top. And the method that I was used is similar to what I use on YouTube, but I wouldn't curse at the students. I wouldn't tell them what they can't do. I never told them what they can't do. I only told them what they can do, what they have the ability to do. And they're facing nothing different than what I faced. I was told that 3 out of 10 black boys was only going to make it. It's up to you to be which side of that team you want to be on. You know, so yeah, that's why I've always done what I did. It's always been in me since I was a kid. I remember training people when I was young boys, young girls. Just whether it was sports, whether it was just to learn how to fight back. Yeah, that's always been me. I couldn't do anything different. I tried, you know, I've done things different, but my heart was always into working with young people and coaching. I celebrated my 50th year coaching and playing sports this past summer. 50th year, that's a long ass time. And I still got about 30 more to go. So, hey, I'm going to always be a fighter. It's just in me. Let me see. Prosperous black communities, champion federal policy reforms to advance home ownership. Yeah, we talked about that up earlier. So this just breaks it down, what I read off at the top. Partner with local leaders in black communities to ensure maximum federal support for neighborhood renovation. Hey, your local, like I said, your aldermen, your churches, you go to them and say, hey, where the money at? Make Juneteenth the national holiday. Yeah, I think we can all be with that. Is this already a national holiday? I'm not sure. Prosecute the KKK and Antifa as terrorist organizations to make lynching a federal hate crime. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, make it if it's saying, look, it's on document. It ain't like we gotta say our word against that. It's on document. You say you was gonna make, prosecute the KKK, Antifa, and make them a federal hate. It'll make lynching a federal hate crime. I'm with that. Fewer black farmers and access to health foods. Yeah, hold on, man. Let me get this. Give me a second. I need to just check something out real quick because I want to show this whole thing. Let me see. I guess gotta make it smaller. Okay, so let's try it now. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Where am I at? Okay. Where am I at? Okay, partnership with local community. Okay, make June. Hold up, now I can't even see what the hell I was doing. Can y'all see that? I don't know what's going on with my screen. So let me see if I can read it. So it says fewer black farmers and access to health foods to address food disparities. Yes, I'm with that. Favorable trade deals to bring back manufacturing jobs to help black contractors, farmers, and investors and consumers. Yes, bring back those jobs to our communities. We need those jobs in our communities. I'm with that. Let me see. Favorable trade deals. Okay, I got that. Defend religious liberty in African American churches that lift the consciousness of our nation. Yeah, defend, like, people, when you support America, he's trying to make it to where America is going to support you back. Now, would that come true? I don't know. Again, that's something we never seen as a black community. So we just have to be on the lookout for certain things. Collaborate with cities and counties to address mental illness and substance abuse. Yes. Again, there's spaces and opportunity for people to get into those lanes to help give back to the people, to assist people who are, the word I'm looking for is frequent drug abusers. People who continually go in and out of jail using drugs, and not just using jail as a remedy to, for the problem, because then when they get out, the first thing they want to do is get drugs. Quick story, I had a best friend, grew up with him, used to come to my house, used to go to his family reunions. When I went away to the service, he sort of fell off. He had got hooked on drugs. He passed away in 2007. He was in jail for about 6-8 months. When he got out, he went and bought some drugs. He passed away on his doorstep after smoking crack in 100-degree weather. He died of heat exhaustion. He died on his doorstep, right there, smoking. Did he ever get help? No. Did they offer help? Probably so, but he never took it. So it was just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? A good guy, he just got caught up in the wrong things, and they took advantage of him. So, more education opportunities. I'm going to read through this, and this is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. So, federal, state, and local community partnerships to close failing schools to replace with full school choice and education opportunities to put American parents back in control of their child's futures. Yes, I read this one already. However, it's going to give, again, this provides you with opportunities to ensure your child, son, daughter, other, to get the proper education that they need. That's all it's going to do. Spur innovating ecosystems by connecting minority institutions with the federal government broad range of scientific and engineering research and development. I'm with this all the way. Bush and Obama, they was all this under this literacy shit. Shit didn't work. No kid left behind. Now all these adults is dumb as hell. No kid left behind was implemented in Bush. He implemented enough behind. Now they making a passing grade of 50 in Florida. A 50? Come on, man, you failing. That's what it means. You ain't gonna go no farther than working at your local restaurant, because your mind ain't gonna be strong enough to be an engineer, to innovate anything But again, I could be wrong. Increase the amount of Pell Grants and allow for vocational employment and second chance homecomers. Yes. So now when you get a felony can get Pell Grants. You just can't have no crimes dealing with children and youth. But other than that, you can do it. So again, as a felon, you can vote and you can go to college. I had a friend, 3 felonies. This dude got a master's degree. So stop it, people. Stop making excuses up for your lack of. And when you come home, you at least want to still be able to buy a home at some point. So yeah, I don't know. Last one, advanced targeted apprenticeship and job training programs. Yes, young men, young women, apprenticeship. That means you will work under someone who is certified in that position. You would accumulate maybe 400 or 500 hours. What is that? I don't know. 6 months maybe. You work you follow them, make a 400, an 8-hour day, 9-hour day, and you learning on the job training. That's all it is. On the job training. On the job training. That's all apprenticeship is. Elevated Mind Healer. If she's working in, I don't know what it's called, horticulture, gardening, whatever, you be with her by her side, out there in the garden every day, and she'll sign off, yes, she was here, and she won't sign off if your ass don't show up for work. And you take that, and then after so many hours, I think it's about 400 hours. I don't know, 400 divided by 8, that'll give you your time. I don't know. 40, 37, you're going to get lunch breaks. So what they say, 37 and a half in the work week. And that's how long the program going to be. 6 months, a year, maybe. Depends on how you show up. Even plumbing, even skill trades. Electrician, carpentering, you going to be working the first day. And you get the on-the-job training. But it's going to be opportunities for you. Job training programs. Get into these trades. You can work for yourself a lot faster than going to a traditional school. You can work for a lot faster. One thing I loved about going to the military, because I used to be apprehensive when I was young, I ain't gonna lie. You couldn't get me to go talk to no recruiter, hell no. But the one thing I found out is that everything I learned in the military, I could take it out to the civilian life. And it put me in a position to leapfrog most. That's why they hire military first, because they know you've been working, you've been learning, you've been creating, you've been dismantling, you've been putting together, you've been building it, tearing it apart, all that. You've been working long hours, you've been sleep deprived, you've been doing all that in the military. You get all that. You're in good exercise, you exercise well. Even in the military, especially early on, they teach you financial literacy. They show you how to write a check and balance a checkbook. That's part of the training. I don't know what it is now. It's a little old. I'll go to base all the time. And when I was young, when I was in the military, everybody was fit and strong. I can show some pictures when I was in the service. I had a picture of me when I was in Saudi Arabia. We had just won a little basketball tournament. A dude online said, man, it's crazy. He was like, man, that's weird that you got a man in your background. I'm like, dude, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I was young, had hair, had the muscles. You know what I'm saying? I had muscles. I ain't have muscles. You know what I'm saying? I was good. I had my little 8-pack. I was him. I was that man. I was more humble then. Now I'm old. I can talk to you now. Back then, no. But, it's just amazing how people, opportunities are there for us. But, again, we are definitely afraid to take advantage of them. I'm just going to go back to my main screen. Again, listen, I just want to thank everybody who joined me today. Elevated Mind Healer, salute to you, sister. I appreciate you just hanging out with me. I'm old. I may talk a lot, but listen, I'm going to put out information whether people tune in or not, whether people support it or not. I'm not here to get rich and make money and do all of that. But, it's just part of who I am, what I am, things I've learned, things that I've done to sort of, avoid certain situations. And I'm just appreciative of everything that I've experienced. with my family, with my friends, the people that I've met over my time. That's just me, you know. Brother Arpain, man, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Subscribe to his page, people. Listen, he gives a great commentary about people. He does a great commentary about sports on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. He's an early bird. He ain't like me. He's an early bird. You know, most of his stuff started at 7 o'clock. And Elevated Mind Healer, I don't know if you have a channel. You can put it in the chat, please, for sure. Hassan Tyre, yes, and man, he's one of the guys that got me started in this space right here, man. Real good guy, real cool guy. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, man, salute to all of y'all, man, to the content creators out there, man, people's panels I've been on, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. When I show up, I'm just talking solutions. I ain't with all that other stuff. I'll fight y'all, but I ain't gonna fight over here, you know. But y'all create your channels to have some fight. But listen, man, I'm just a regular guy, you know, just trying to make my mark in the world, you know, and I appreciate everybody that shows up, you know, whether you peep in, listen in, leave a comment. I just appreciate that, man. I'm in a great space right now, and I'm not looking back at all. You know, me and my wife and my 2 dogs and a cat. You know, we ain't looking back at all. You know, we're not looking back. And this is it, man. You know, again, the business of America. Are you going to get into business? Are you going to stand on the sideline? The opportunities will be available to you. So be looking out for opportunities. Don't listen to other people about what they wouldn't do. You get out. You take advantage of it. You put yourself in those positions. So again, thank y'all for stopping by. Elevated Mind Healer, appreciate you. No, I need to get consistent on mine. Listen, just write things down in the moment. Or if you don't like writing it, just get you one of those personal recorders, or you can use your phone and just record that stuff so you can come back to it at a later date. And if you ever need any help with anything, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Don't, you know what I'm saying, I would love to give the information, because I ain't going out there. You know, I'll be a consultant. I'll show up and give a great workshop for you and, you know, help you with how to run workshops with people, but I ain't fighting it every day. You know, I work in invoices. That's how I work. Invoices. I send you an invoice and I work. But I ain't cheap, but I'm reasonable. You know what I'm saying? I'm reasonable. You know, like they say. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, this is Coach Ferg, aka Trey Ferg, man. Listen, I'll see y'all again on the other side, man. Until then, man, y'all stay safe. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me, man. Peace.